I'm a gun-toting patriot, God-fearing patriot. Bryson, why they mad? Cause I'm real and they be faking it. Free speech advocate, it's on my mind, I'm saying it. I'm about to buy another gun and ain't nobody taking it. Gun-toting, Bible reading, God believing, truth speaking American. This MAGA season, Democrats committing treason. I know they think it's sweet, but you don't know who you dealing with. This for free thinkers only. You ain't got no membership. They free to the repent out the cage, cause he innocent. Barton Roger Stone, cause the world know that he innocent. We need to kick out every single illegal immigrant. Mandatory voter ID laws we need to implement. Tell Justin Smollett that I know this MAGA country. Tell China we know they.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the XJW Political Corner. I got King Tony right here backstage, and I'm going to bring her up because I want to do a mini tribute before we start getting into politics. So this morning was a really sad day for me. If you've seen on X or on Discord, I shared that another one of my cousins on my father's side, Kimberly, passed away 2 days ago, and I just found out today. So I kind of I've been in shock all day, but apparently I don't know all the details, but she was involved in a car accident 2 days ago on Sunday. It was her 25th birthday, and I think that's what she was celebrating. And so she was on her way home, and, you know, my Uncle Victor had a birthday cake waiting for her at home and everything. And she just never came home. She never got to see it. So it was really traumatic. It was very sudden. And everything happened within the night, like quite literally overnight. She passed away Monday morning. And, you know, we were here streaming inauguration, the Trump rally. So I wasn't on social media. If I wasn't streaming, you know, I would have probably found this out sooner. So I kind of feel sad, like I'm the last one to find out. And then the whole family is going crazy and I don't know what's going on. So it was really awkward and weird to get that phone call, you know, bearing bad news. Like, you know, my dad called me and said, sorry to be the one to tell you, but yeah, she passed away a few days ago. So I've just been in shock since then. Like, I don't even know what to say. I don't even know how to feel right now. And honestly, it's because when we grew up as Jehovah's Witnesses, we were raised to view death very lightly. Like they take it very callously almost, because they say to us, well, oh, get over it. They're going to be resurrected in paradise. So who cares? You know, just wait till paradise and you'll see your dead loved ones again. And that's really how they recruit people into the cult, is because you're waiting for the hope of seeing your dead loved ones again. But right. Now that I'm not a Jehovah's Witness anymore, it's like, how do I view death now? You know what I'm saying? Like, our relationship with death is different. So when I heard this news, I'm like, I don't even know how to feel anymore, because I wasn't ready for this. I'm not prepared. Like, I'm not too far along in my journey of my faith to actually know how to feel about this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still learning a lot of things. Yeah. And the Orthodox take it very seriously, which is why I like them. And, you know, they have a prayer for everything. They even have a prayer for the departed. So that's what I've been doing today. I've just been praying for her soul, just like, you know, like, I don't even know what to believe anymore, almost, because I'm still in shock, you know? So it's like, where is she? Where is her soul? Is she in heaven? Is she in hell? It's like all these questions start flooding in again. And it's like, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. She's not here anymore. And it's sad. And I'm like, I don't want that. You know what I'm like? I'm angry. Like, why did this have to happen? She was so young. It was her birthday on Sunday. She just turned 25. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel even more bad for my uncle, because you're not supposed to bury your kids. Right. Like, you know, she's even younger than me. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God, like, I feel like I'm going to have a heart attack. And you know that I've dealt with death anxiety for so many years, because when I woke up from the cult, I realized that I was mortal. And that's scary, because we also grew up with thinking, like, we're never going to die. We're going to walk into paradise, and we're never we're never gonna die, because that's how the organization
Yep.
said, the end is right around the corner. You don't have to worry about nothing. You're gonna walk into
Yep.
paradise, or Jesus is gonna come on the 4 horses and have the armies, and you know what I'm saying? So it was like, oh my God moment for me.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Ruby.
Yeah, me too. I'm sorry too. And you know what's another thing that gets me upset is that these are one of my cousins that I wasn't allowed to associate with because she wasn't a Jehovah's Witness.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I never really got close to this cousin. And that also makes me feel angry and sad. It's like I couldn't even have a relationship with this side of the family because at the time we were all witnesses and they were not. And
Mm-hmm.
so my mom never really made the effort to reach out
Yep.
to these cousins. But, for instance, with King Tony, they were witnesses, so I could hang out with King Tony, but I couldn't hang out with Kimberly. You
Right.
see what I'm saying? So it really made me feel so weird and awkward that I never really got to develop that in the way that I wanted to in adulthood.
Right.
So that kind of sucks for me. You know what I'm saying? Like all of these things are
All
flooding to me, and I'm like,
right. But I think you're right. I think that you're still on your journey and I'm on mine, but we do believe in the spiritual world and that their soul does live on. And I think the best we can do is to pray, continue to pray for their soul and to continue to pray for their family. But
yeah,
damn, this is hard. It's
it
literally
really is. It
there.
really is. Like it's like I wasn't even that close to her, but her father, my uncle Victor, was the only one who really took us in when we were being shunned. And that's when I had Quentin. He was a baby, and
I
we
remember.
lived. Yeah, we lived with them. He said, "Come to my house, live with me, bring the
Yep.
baby and everything." And I was really shocked by that. I was like, "Look at this uncle who's not even a witness, has nothing to do with religion or anything, and he's the only one who's helping us in this critical time because we were about to be homeless." So I was with her. So I lived with them and their family for a good like 8 months. Like that felt like forever, but we lived there for a really long time with them. So I at least got to experience her childhood with her, even though I was like an older cousin, but I had a baby at a really young age and she was a teenager at the time. So at least I got to spend that time with them in North Carolina. But I moved away, and people move away, they move on with their lives. You
Yeah.
never really see these people again until they're on vacation or something. And
Yeah.
I never really got to do that. And these were one of the cousins that it's like that through text kind of relationship. So I feel really, really bad about this one. So I just wanted to talk about her a little bit before we start, because I just found this out this morning.
Like sisters.
Yeah, because we both look like our dads. As I was telling you earlier, we both look like our dads so much. And even my other cousin, Paris, forget about it. We look like twins.
Yep.
It's like that Tavares eyes and face is that we all got the same the same face, just different color of hair.
Yep.
But I think she was beautiful. She is beautiful. Like she was so beautiful.
And she
She
had
is,
an 8 month old, right? She had an 8 month old baby.
and she just had I can't believe she just had a baby.
And
Everybody just went to North Carolina for her baby shower. I sent a gift. I couldn't make it because I'm in Florida, but it's like, everybody does the migration to North Carolina when a big milestone comes. And so
hmm
now all my family is there now, so suddenly because of this. So I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't even know the details of the funeral or anything like that, but I'm just I'm not gonna overthink. Like, I'm not gonna let this like throw me off and make me spiral, because I don't know what it is. Like, I'm always there. Like, I'm always on the edge. So
right
I'm
on
just
the
gonna pray. I don't care about believing in a God or not. I'm just gonna pray, because at this time it's like I can't overthink this one. You know what I mean? Like, we just gotta leave it in prayer and just see what happens.
yeah.
All right, guys. So I just wanted to share that with you. Everybody in the chat, please let me know if you are here. I'm going to scroll all the way up and say hello to everybody like we do every night. And I know that Jimmy's going to join us in a few. If you're watching on X, you can join the party on YouTube. I have a StreamYard link and you can join the stage. Oh, excuse me. We have JG. He says, OMG, so much to discuss. Sure hope that Jimmy graces us with his presence this evening. Yep, Jimmy's coming really soon. And I changed the title of this stream because our good friend to the show, John Marciano, he said, topic of the show is the next 4 years. What about the next 100 days? And I was like, you know what? Good point. I'm going to change the title to the next 100 days. And Jimmy's with us. Hey, Jimmy.
Hey, good evening. Hey, first off, Ruby, I'm sorry for your family's loss. That sucks. I hate to see that.
Thank you, Jimmy. Yeah, everybody's in North Carolina right now. They're in Charlotte, so they're
Are
near
they in
you.
Charlotte? Yeah, they're only about an hour and a half away from me then. So that's
yeah.
Oh, that's where you live?
Yeah, I live in North Carolina. Yeah.
Why did I think this whole time you lived in New York?
No.
Maybe because of my attitude sometimes.
I thought you lived in upstate New York. That's crazy. You live in
No, Joe and Fran live upstate New York. Jimmy's in North Carolina.
I'm gonna tell you.
Wow.
It is 19 degrees out here right now. I've got my heated hoodie on. I've got hand warmers in my socks. I got my my heaters on. So we'll see how long I can make it tonight. I'm not staying up here tonight till 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh no, it's gonna be really cold. It's
understandable.
9 degrees over here. It was 8 degrees. I think it was 10 degrees today, and then tomorrow's gonna be 8 degrees.
Oh, good God. Yeah, I didn't even pull out the cord to keep my phone charged or anything. I was like, when it gets down to 25%, I'm gonna be like, hey guys, phone's at 25%. Jimmy's got to go.
Okay.
Yep.
But
wow.
Hey, I got some quick news.
Okay.
I'm back on Facebook.
Yeah. Look, you see how Trump works so fast? He said that yesterday about the censorship, and look, Jimmy got his Facebook already on. That's crazy.
Yeah, well, the thing is, it's not my old account. I had to create a new account. I tried to create new accounts over the past 172 days, but it wouldn't let me do it. And so, just for kicks and giggles, I tried it again today, and I was like, "Is this working?" It says, "Please put your number in and send a code." And they sent me a code, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is working!" So I literally have to start from scratch. And I can't, for some reason or another, I can't send out friend requests right now. So for the folks that want to get a hold of me, just look on Facebook, just look up Jimmy Bell, Waynesboro, Jimmy Bell, put it in the search bar, Jimmy Bell, Waynesboro, Virginia, and you might be able to find me. So, but yeah, so I'll slowly build that back up. But I think for most of my news and everything, I'm gonna stick with X until,
of course,
I see how the algorithm goes and all that. But at least I have something back up so I can start creating it again. So yay!
Congratulations.
So that's my news of the day.
Yeah, wow, congratulations. I think yeah, just stay on X though, because I was kind of afraid that you're gonna go cheat on us and go to Facebook.
No, I'm gonna stay on X. Put all my good stuff that I've been doing on X. I feel comfortable with that. I logged into Facebook today, and I'm like, how do you freaking use this again?
Yeah, exactly. Oh
So,
man.
But yeah, at least I can reconnect with some folks.
I have some questions for you, Jimmy. So, all right, if you don't mind, let's start with that because Tony was sending me some stuff that, you know, some pictures.
Hang on a second.
Trump.
Let me get prepared.
Gina, me? Oh my God.
All right.
You're the only one.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
get ready. Oh, and okay, before we start, I see there's a backstage. You have to connect your device if you want to join the stage. So check your camera or your mic, and then I can put you up to the stage. He's backstage. I don't know who it is, but the device is not connected. So sorry. Okay, so my question was, Tony was sending me a lot of stuff, these pictures about Trump not putting his hand on the Bible during his swearing in. I don't know if that means something or if it means nothing, because I looked in the comments and it did say that you don't necessarily have to put your hand on a religious text or book or whatever. As long as you say the oath, you should be fine. So I don't know if that meant something for you.
There's no way. First off, there's nowhere in the Constitution or the procedures to say that you have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that.
Mm-hmm.
The best way to explain it, there was another guy that explained it really well. You want to pull up my X feed, and I'll show you, because yeah, pull up my X feed, and there's a guy that did an explanation, and I'll show it to you.
Okay.
Yeah, just scroll, not him. Yeah, MAGA.
Okay.
Y'all just love my X feed.
Yep, we are in Jimmy's X feed, everybody. Okay.
See, hopefully I put it up there.
I see,
That's not it.
Pictures.
No, it's gonna be a guy in his car.
Guy in his car.
That guy.
Oh, right here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the one I said.
Now, I'm going to explain this. Do you see his hand on the Bible? No. Not because he's not taking an oath on purpose, but because he was already sworn in. This is the inauguration for the corporation, which is no longer around, the United States Corporation. There's no way he could have taken an oath for a dissolved corporation. Remember that. He is the president of the Republic, the 19th president. There is no hand on that Bible because he was not taking an oath today under this dissolved corporation that we've lived under. Man, that I caught that. So many people are catching that. That's amazing. Amazing. That's proof right there. That's all you need to know. The best is yet to come.
So and I say this with as much respect as I can, but in the minds of normies and for folks that aren't digging as deep into this stuff as we have, they've always seen the president-elect put their hand on a Bible. Okay? Yeah. They've all seen that. And I don't think that I'm not sure exactly when that started. I don't know if Washington did it or not. But that's just the procedure they're used to seeing. So when we told people that there might be a chance that Trump may use the Trump card and not accept the oath or not accept the inauguration, this was kind of him doing that by not putting his hand on that Bible, because they're using it for the allegiance to the corporation.
I heard the reason why. It's a simpler explanation.
Okay.
Is that they had to rush things. Okay. So what happened was, I can't remember what someone was giving like a speech or something like that just before the inauguration, and they took a long time, and so then they were like rushing to do it because there could be a constitutional crisis if because Biden's term would end at noon.
Yeah.
And if Trump isn't inaugurated at noon or just before noon, then in between him being inaugurated and everything, like for a few minutes, there could be no president of the United States. And that's just like a very, it's kind of a dangerous thing to have, even just for a few minutes. Like, you never know what could happen.
I can appreciate that comment. And the only thing I would push back on that a little bit was, while they're doing it, how hard would it be for him to put his hand up on that Bible and give the oath or say the oath? Even if they were rushing it, it wouldn't have been it wouldn't have been difficult for him at all to put his hand on that Bible and just rush through it.
Right. But not only that, is because didn't the day before in the rally, he said, when I put my hand on that Bible and you know what I'm saying? Like, I was expecting him to do that. And then when he didn't do that, I was like, oh, why didn't he do it? And like this whole frenzy online, and you start
Yeah,
going through the
I
comments.
really think that a lot of, and there's going to be more stuff to dig in on this inauguration. There was a lot of comms yesterday, and we're in the process of digging through them all. So there was so much that happened yesterday. It was hard to actually do decodes yesterday because there was something happening every hour. I mean, I actually watched more TV yesterday than I've watched in a year. So, but not just TV, but YouTube stuff as well, RSPN. So for me personally, I tend to agree with the guy in the car that he did not take an oath to the corporation.
Okay,
You know,
and
if
we
I
already
ever,
know. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna quick say it. If I, for some reason, was ever elected president, it'd be very unlikely because like that's have very controversial views. But I wouldn't put my hand on the Bible. I'd probably put my hand on the icon of Christ. Probably.
I'd have to. Who are we speaking to?
Oh,
That
sorry.
is Bobo.
I follow.
Okay.
I follow Ruby on X.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Cool.
Yeah,
All right.
my same the same name I have on X is Bobo. So.
Well, it's nice to meet you.
And I'm an Orthodox Christian, just like her.
Okay, cool. I would agree with you. If I got elected to president, I wouldn't put my hand on the Bible either. Just because of the way I feel about that right now.
Right.
Okay. All right. I think I agree with both. I'm gonna be honest, and I'm gonna say I agree with what Jimmy thinks, and I agree with what Bobo said, and I also agree with Doreen right here when she says I think people are thinking too much into this. I slightly agree with that as well. Like I don't think it's either or, whether it was rushed or not, whether people believe that he was sworn in already. You know what I'm saying? Like I think all three kind of, that's me.
Yeah, there was actually more stuff coming out about this than back in 2021 when they swore Biden in at 11:47, which is totally unconstitutional. So there was more blowback on Trump not putting his hand on the Bible than there was that. So just an observation.
Okay, Tony, does that cover it for you? Because I think that was also your thing. Like that's why you sent it to me, because you were like, oh, he didn't put his thing on his hand on the
Yeah, I
Bible.
found that interesting.
Okay.
I did read something about March 4th. So what do you think about that, Jimmy?
As it stands right now, I'm just going to say I'm not sure what's going to go on March 4th, if anything. Let's see how that plays out over the next couple of weeks.
Okay, so I think we got,
because something major has to happen to trigger that. So we'll see. Let's just see what takes place.
Okay.
all right. We also have E on the stage. And just anybody who joins, you can, jump in whenever you want. I mean, we usually have just me and Jimmy on here, so we're used to talking a lot. So if you have a question, bring it up or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like we're free here. You can say whatever you want. And I just want to let Jimmy have the floor for most of the time before he has to go because it's super cold over there.
I'm good right now. I'm good. Y'all just keep. There were some. I had somebody send me a message, and I think they're watching. Wanted me to address the whole Elon Musk and his hand gesture. Do y'all want to talk about?
Here we go.
Yes, let's
Do y'all want to talk about that?
Yeah.
Sure. Go ahead.
Right.
What did he do now?
So while we're talking about that, Ruby, go look at the DMs I sent you. I think I sent you a picture or two of that hand gesture.
Okay.
He made a Roman salute.
And before I show that, or before we show here's the deal. Okay, so the left right now is pushing propaganda saying that he did the Heil Hitler salute. Okay. If you look at the full context, he actually grabbed his heart and threw it out. That's what he did. The video is there. The full context is there. So So, okay. So that's that. So right there, The left is going crazy, saying, "Oh, he is doing the Hitler thing."
Uh-huh.
Okay, well, go pull up my pictures that I sent you.
Okay. All right, everybody, you're gonna go into my DMs.
Hasn't stuff like this happened before?
That's exactly what I'm getting ready to show you.
So Jimmy, I
he's
only
like,
see.
Oh, he did Hitler salute. I'm like,
It should be okay. I can't see. Where's the DMs? I'm pretty sure
Okay,
I sent it.
This one says deeply insulting African
No,
American.
not that. Just scroll. I might have sent it after those.
Kamala Harris screenshot and then Cuomo screenshot. So I don't think he's
No. Crap. Okay, so do a. Damn it.
right here.
There it is. Okay, so you have Pocahontas, you have Obama, you've got Hillary, and is that Stephen Colbert guy?
Yep.
Okay, they're all making that gesture.
Mm-hmm.
Why is this the first time most people are seeing that?
Yep.
Because the media didn't say crap. I'm gonna try to keep my cussing down tonight. The media didn't say crap about any of these gestures.
Right.
But yet they want to focus all their attention on Elon doing it. All this is propaganda. It's propaganda is what they're doing. And someone said, well, Elon's on drugs or whatever. Well, people need to remember Elon has Asperger's.
Yeah.
And people also have to remember, now, if you don't know what Asperger's is, you got a kid with autism. My grandson has autism.
Mm-hmm.
I know he just acts. Whatever hits him, he does.
Right.
I'm scared to take Bane in public with me sometimes because if you want to know the truth about something, ask an autistic kid.
Yeah, it's true.
Seriously. And we know, and I'm not saying that he was in the situation, but we know that Elon does smoke weed. So maybe he toked up, was a little happy about it, and just got excited on the stage. I don't know. I'm speculating. But for the left to keep pushing this Hitler stuff is exhausting. It's exhausting.
Okay. I mean, I didn't take that any kind of way. You know what I'm saying? Like what Elon did, I didn't take it that way. So I think people are reaching at this point.
Yeah, exactly. Because like I said, no one ever heard about Pocahontas and Hillary. No one's probably ever seen those pictures before. Because the media didn't care that they did that.
Right.
So it's propaganda.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I didn't take offense, so I don't really care about it. But if anybody was interested in that, there you go. That's your answer.
And another hand gesture that was done last night was when Trump introduced Barron at the parade thing, and he put his hand like this.
Yes, I saw that.
And somebody tried to match that up with Hitler doing the same thing, but that's not what that was either. He was getting into it. He's like, hey, let me, like Hulk Hogan. Hey, let's hear the crowd.
Yeah, he was like, let me hear the crowd, applaud for him.
So all that stuff, propaganda.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yep, I agree with you. What else? I mean, me and King Tony continued watching the inauguration and everything. We agreed on the fashion of everyone. Melania was very serious and very, she was really bringing that energy, like she was not fooling around. She ain't playing around this time. I liked that. What else?
There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of decodes on Melania. Every time Melania wears something, it has a meaning. It has a meaning. Every time. That we've learned that over the years with all the decodes and stuff we've done. So we're working on them. There's some that already got some decodes out on what she wore, especially with her gangster outfit and her stunning dress that she wore at the ball last night.
Yes. Oh my goodness, it was beautiful. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. The fashion was amazing. even Ivanka was beautiful, and I love the Trump kids. And I even follow Kai Trump on YouTube and everything. Like, I am so in love with them. For some, it's like the American royal family, because I used to be really like big on. I was like royal into the whole Kate Middleton and everything, and then I was like, you know what? The whole Trump family was like royalty for us. So I don't know. I just like them. I just like them.
Yeah,
think-
it was. Yeah, the fashion was good. Everybody held them. Everybody looked good. I think the biggest fail in fashion yesterday was Jeff Bezos' wife or girlfriend or whatever the hell she is, Lauren Sanchez, who
Was someone wearing white. It was like a blazer white. It was really
Dude.
low cut.
well, she had a blazer over just a bra.
Yes, the lace bra and but it was super low cut. Yeah, I think that was not.
Megan, did you see what Megyn Kelly said?
No, I didn't. What did she say?
Megyn Kelly said she was dressed like a hooker. No one needs you're at an inauguration, a very serious event. No one needs to be focusing on your tits, is what Megyn Kelly said.
And they're not even real, so that's what gets me. Like,
Yeah, they're not real.
ew.
So, but yeah, she was.
Yeah,
I would say that she was the fail on fashion yesterday.
Yeah, most definitely, because that's not fashion. That's just whorish. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody has class. You know what I'm saying? Everybody had class.
Yep, she did not.
Exactly. She did not. I don't think money could buy you that. You know what I'm saying? You just got to be born with it, I guess.
So,
All right. Does anybody have anything that they would like to bring up? E is on the stage. You can unmute yourself, or Bobo. Just I don't want to feel like I'm, leaving anybody out. So if you want to say something, go right ahead.
Hi.
Hello. Yes, you can introduce yourself. Let us know where you're from.
I'm from Florida.
Is this W?
Yeah.
Why you changing your name up in here, W?
Huh?
You okay?
What? Yeah, I'm alright. You said that you would
Alright.
like put your hand on the Bible. Why is that?
me?
Because every
Yeah.
other president has put their hand on the Bible, so we were like, why didn't Trump do that?
You don't
I
think
think-
you don't think it's like just for show, like it could just be like a stage play, like everything is just the act.
Everything yesterday was a show, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Hmm.
Like
Everything
including-
yesterday was pretty much a show.
'cause,
But
like
shows
in the-
have meaning. Shows have meaning.
yeah, because like in the Bible it says like, I don't know, it talks about like the trumpets, like in the book of Revelation, and like why is his name is Trump?
Hmm. Here we go. We already know W's gonna go there. Just like Jimmy, we already know Jimmy's gonna go somewhere. We know what we're gonna get with W. Thank you, W.
Also, like, I've read this. You know what I'm gonna bring up. It's an audiobook. It talks about like the pyramid and the all-seeing eye,
Oh, okay.
and it talks about like how all of this was planned out before the nation was created, and it even talks about Trump, how he was like, he was a certain somebody, Nebuchadnezzar, I think, reincarnated or something, and they knew that this was gonna happen. So like Trump is like an antichrist,
Oh God.
and
Oh,
Yeah.
I heard that. I heard that.
We've heard that.
Yeah.
yeah, and this is why like they have predicted programming on Trump that he was gonna be president. And
Let me ask a question real quick on that. Isn't one of the descriptions of the Antichrist that he has no love for women?
I don't know. It can all be an act. I don't know.
It would be.
I heard there's
And
many.
didn't it say he would be younger and come from a not in America, a Middle Eastern nation?
I don't know.
Okay, so here's my debating part of this.
But I heard there's many.
If you're going to describe somebody as the Antichrist, please tell me why with descriptions of the Antichrist.
I can't.
Well, you can have the spirit of Antichrist, and there were multiple. Like, there's always an
Yeah,
Antichrist.
there's many antichrists, but there's many antichrists, which I guess that means false Christs, but there's only one true Christ. And
I'll agree with that. And I'll agree with the Antichrist spirit and everything. I will agree with that. But to pigeonhole, they've been doing this for years, for over 500 years, labeling somebody as an Antichrist, as the Antichrist. And it's never happened. That person never was the Antichrist.
But I feel like the true Christ didn't get involved in politics. Like he didn't. Okay, what I feel is when you get involved in politics and all that stuff, the left and the right, I feel like you're trying to do something that is right. But
would you say a king is a member of politics or a player in politics? Would you say a king is?
I don't know.
What's King Charles?
It's King Charles.
Yeah, is he a politician? I'm going somewhere with this.
I don't know. Where are you going?
Well, would you consider King Charles a politician?
I don't know who King Charles is.
Okay. Let me try to reword this another way. What kings do you know?
Not much, really.
Okay, so most people would look at a king as being a political figure.
Okay, that makes
Okay,
sense.
all right. So isn't Jesus King of Kings?
Yes, but there's also a false Christ, a false Jesus.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, but the real Jesus, is he the King of Kings?
In my opinion, no.
Okay.
Jesus
Did he say my kingdom is no part of this world?
Mm-hmm.
So if he's got a kingdom, that would make him a king, right?
Right. But
so therefore, you know, Jesus would he would be a political figurehead in that sense.
Yeah, but not of this world, because this world has to do with good and evil. And Jesus is only good.
Okay.
When you talk about this world, we're talking about this third dimension. We're talking about, when you're talking about his kingdom, the kingdom from within.
I was just making a reference between the king being a politician and making that connection. I wasn't going into the whole stuff.
But when what was the scripture when Satan led Jesus and he said, I'll give you all the kingdoms of the world if you bow down to me?
Right. He did say that.
But Jesus
he said the kingdoms of this world, and then Jesus said, my kingdom is no part of this world. So yes, I can see where you're going with it being in basically another realm.
Yeah.
So I'm going to interrupt you right here, W. I do understand where you're coming from. And we've discussed this before about how politics is not the answer. You should look to Jesus Christ alone. Christ is king, and we really shouldn't be worried about this system. I understand it. I get it. But we've had this conversation before, and it is my opinion that we still need to care about current events and who's the president and get involved and vote and things like that. So I do understand where you're coming from, but I don't want to spend too much time on that because we want to move on to different subjects. So if you don't mind, let's move on to another subject because everybody in the chat also wants to get to the things that Trump has already done. And that's why I put in the title, the next 100 days, because Trump is doing a lot of good things right now. And that's what I really want to focus on. This is what we've been waiting for about 4 years now. You know what I'm saying? We've been starving for change and we've been having that now. So I'm going to move on and I'm just going to mute you, W, because there's a lot of background noise. So I'm gonna just mute you for now, and then just see if you could figure that out. You have background noise. See if you could
Yeah,
lower
I was
it.
hearing the same thing.
Yeah, I don't know if he has like a TV on. If you have a TV on or something, lower it because we could hear ourselves. Okay, Jimmy, is there something specific that you would like to move on with Trump's
Well,
new stuff?
if you want to talk about the executive, I think that's a good way, a good route to go. If you
Yep.
look on, I think if you look on my X feed, there
Mhm.
is a list of executive or there's a comprehensive list of all the executive orders. And we can look at them one by one if you wanted to. At
Did
least
you
a
send
few.
me that? Did you send me that?
I
in
may
the-
have sent it to you in
Yeah,
DMs,
you
but I
did.
know it's on my feed.
Okay, yeah, you did. This was the website, and this is what I really want to get into tonight because me and King Tony were really shocked about everything that has been happening so fast. You know.
Mhm.
Okay, so this
Now,
is the WhiteHouse.gov. Go ahead, Jimmy.
let me preface this with these executive orders. Okay.
Mhm.
These executive orders can be challenged. Okay.
Mhm.
They can go to court. They can go as high as the Supreme Court. So just because Trump puts something out there doesn't mean that they're not going to try to challenge him on some of these things. So there's a very good possibility that some of these things might not get through. There is that possibility. I just wanted to preface that before we have this conversation.
Okay, so ultimately it goes to Congress, right? And then they would have to vote on it.
Well, it doesn't have, no, it doesn't go to Congress. Executive orders can be challenged legally. If they,
Oh,
yeah, because remember, we have three branches of government: executive,
right.
legislative, and judicial. The executive branch is allowed, as long as it doesn't violate the Constitution, the executive branch is allowed to issue its executive orders. So, what's the first one on there? I can't read that.
Keeping Americans safe in aviation.
Okay, this is not the one on this.
Guaranteeing the states protecting against invasion.
Restoring names American.
Yeah, restoring names. I like that one. Designating the cartels.
Right
That
there.
was a big one.
Referring the federal hiring process. Okay, that one. What's that say?
Yep, reforming the federal hiring process and restoring merit to government service.
All right, so that's an executive decision. The executive decision can be, they can say, yeah, we're not going to be hiring anybody right now. We're going to put a hiring freeze on. It's like a company, you know. If a company wants to put a hiring freeze on at A&M Automotive Shop because they don't have the money coming in that they need to have coming in, they don't have the sales, they're going to put that's why you have layoffs. So basically what this is, it is a hiring freeze. And the part where it says merit, that basically kills the DEI woke agenda that they were pushing, because now they're going to base the hires off of merit. Are you good enough to do the job? What are your skills? So that's what that one is. So that's not a bad idea to put a hiring freeze on, because you just have an administration take over. You want to make sure that these people can do their daggone jobs.
Okay.
And uphold the Constitution.
All right, I'm gonna hit the back button.
That's a good one.
Okay, let me go through this list. I think the cartel one, me and Tony were like, wow. I mean,
Totally
this could
agree
have
with
been done such a long time ago. What took so long for this to be? This is common sense.
Well, that's what Trump is showing everybody.
Yep.
Look how quick something like this can be done. Why wasn't it done before? Because the people before didn't want this to happen. They were using it for their advantage.
Yeah, I mean, this one right here, for anybody who thinks like Trump is misogynistic or whatever, or isn't for women's rights, look what we have right here: defending women from gender ideology, extremism, and restoring biological truth to the federal government.
Yes.
That's real women's rights. Okay, women's rights is not about whether or not she can get an abortion.
Correct.
So this is what I really mean about Trump being for women.
Yeah. He basically, what that did right there basically says, yeah, No more men in women's sports at all. And as far as the federal government is concerned, the federal government is going to recognize things male and female. Your passport, your driver's license, your stuff like that. It's the federal recognition. You will be
Right.
male or
Right.
female. Now, if you want to go off on your social circle and still pretend like you're whatever, you have that right. But when it comes to the federal government part, you're either male or female.
Exactly. And this would have never had to become a thing if society didn't fall so far from greatness. So
Exactly.
that's a societal issue that had to go all the way up to the president's desk, which is sad because it should
Well,
have never gotten there.
well, Ruby, you just said it a second ago about common sense.
Yep.
I can't tell you how many times during yesterday's event the phrase common sense was said, at least a lot by Trump. So this stuff is common sense. Why in the world in 2025 do we have to argue about male or female? Why? This wasn't an issue. This has never been an issue. Why is it an issue now? So yeah, common sense.
I just want to give a warm welcome to Joe. Hi, Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Hello.
Hey, Joe.
How are you all?
Good.
Doing good. You could jump in whenever you want.
Well, with both feet. No, it's so, it's some really exciting things have been happening very quickly. We've been through so many inaugurations from our first one, my first in France too, was for Kennedy. That was 1961. Very exciting. It was very momentous. It was very public. And so that's the big difference than it was this time. It was very public with public people, private individuals, everyday citizens were able to attend. Whereas this time it was, I guess you would say it was just rich people. And there were so many of his supporters who were all ready to attend, and they were there, and they were dressed up in their red, white, and blue, and they were psyched and ready. And boy, were they hurt because they couldn't be part of it. And I think they felt snubbed, big time. And here, those are the very people that the grassroots that were supporting him. So that's the thing that I observed there, and you just wonder where they're at now with that.
That's a good
Very
point.
public.
Go ahead, Jimmy. Yep.
Very different. Very different.
Didn't 1985 Ronald Reagan have his inauguration in the Rotunda?
Honestly, I don't remember, Jimmy. I don't.
He did.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
And so this is not nothing new. And Fran did send me a text message on this, and I'll go ahead and address this how I feel about it. It's 18 degrees outside. Okay, I will say that. I'll come back to that. But here's the thing too: we don't know what happened behind the scenes. We don't know if Trump's security detail got word that there was going to be an imminent attack. We don't know. We don't know that.
Yeah.
So now let's go ahead.
You're setting up for my next question, but go ahead.
Okay. So what would have happened? Take the weather out of the equation at the moment, but what would have happened if everybody went to the inauguration and the parade and there was a terrorist attack?
Got it.
Then they would be saying, "Oh, why didn't Trump move this inside?"
Oh, sure. Yeah, understandable.
So there's that. So they may, yes, the people that may have looked forward to going may have been like, "Yeah, this sucks. We can't do this."
Right.
But it would have been suckier if they would have been killed in the terrorist attack.
Yeah, because there's certain things you simply cannot control. You just can't.
Correct.
And here's the other thing. We also lived through, I'll be careful what I say, several premature endings of presidencies,
Mhm.
where the vice president took over. We've seen several of those.
Right.
I wonder, and I have absolutely zero consideration of whether or not Pence becomes president.
Vance.
Vance. I don't know what I'm talking about. Vance, the other guy, of whether or not he becomes president. I wonder what considerations there are for that. Because we've seen that. We've seen that over and over.
As of right now, I mean, that would be the only choice we have with Vance. So far, I mean, I have my own red flags about Vance, and I've talked about him before. But hey, if that were to happen, of course, we'd have to deal with it.
Well, the point, I guess, just the point I'm making is so many plans are made, but frankly, everything that we've seen so far, it just ended up being one big gamble.
Yeah.
Like a crapshoot gamble. Let's throw things up in the air. Well, they're all going to go there. Oops, they are all going somewhere else. Now what?
Yeah. I think we're going to see an end to that, personally. I want to go back to the weather issue. In the same sense, it's 18 degrees outside. The wind was blowing like crazy. We saw the wind blowing. You know, the flag got blown in front of the Marine at the White House, and he held his position. He didn't move. They talked about, Trump said the wind was blowing, you know, Melania's hat, thought she was going to blow away. So you have a wind chill factor in effect too.
Oh, yeah.
So, and they had just had ice and a little bit of snow in Washington as well. So let me ask you, if somebody ended up getting frostbite, or there was a car accident, or somebody slipped and fell on the ice and cracked their head, the media would have got a hold of that and blamed Trump too.
Judging from the love that the people have for him, I think that they would have been more than happy to put up with it.
There's a lot of people, yeah. I mean, hell, I went to January 6th, and it was cold as crap.
There you go.
My feet were about ready to fall off.
There you go. And it was.
But I think they made the right decision and the safest decision. I'm sorry that folks decide they want to go, and they may not have been there. But hey, at least they got to go to the Capital One Arena.
I think they probably did it purposely at the last minute, because I think they felt hurt that it was kind of pulled at the last minute. And I think they probably purposely did it at the last minute as a security concern. Rather than, and at the risk of hurting the feelings of the constituents, or, you know, the supporters. Because there were some nice old ladies that weren't feeling very good.
You either want to save lives or save feelings.
Yeah, I know.
So I don't think that was a huge issue with a lot of people that were there.
No, it's just, for me, my biggest interest is the human behavior responses to everything. That's the biggest thing, because I don't have any dog in the fight, not at all. Makes no difference to me, left or right. I just find it very interesting. Yeah, the human behavior is the biggest interest in this.
Yeah.
We're interesting. We're interesting creatures. Troublesome, but interesting.
Yeah, I agree. So we were just looking at this list, Joe and Fran, of all the executive orders that was already signed, and we just went over the defending women from gender ideology. I still can't believe that's a thing that has to become politicized. It's kind of sad that in my opinion, that these things have to come forward. And then somebody in the chat said, did you guys hear what that bishop said?
Oh my God.
Wait, tell me.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring it up.
The prayer.
Oh my God. I
Well,
saw it.
the prayers was something separate. That was for like the
Oh.
ceremony, but I think it was afterwards. They were sitting down, and this bishop, a woman. So number one, a woman cannot become a bishop. So that's just number one. Number two, listen to what this woman is saying in her little speech. Let me bring it up for you guys.
I think we just heard
Okay,
it.
the tweet is from Charlie Kirk. It says Bishop Marianne Edgar Budd is the bishop of the Episcopal Diocese of Washington. Diocese, sorry, of Washington. She's the first woman to hold the position. She was given a great honor today, a chance to unify America around a Christian message at the dawn of the new administration. Instead, she disgraced herself with a lecture, and I'm gonna play it for you now.
That was a woman?
Yeah.
I thought it was a guy.
President,
No.
millions have put their trust in you. And
Oh,
as you
that
told
sounds-
the nation yesterday, you have felt the providential hand of a loving
You have
God.
to pray.
In the name of our God, I ask you to have mercy upon the people in our country who are scared now.
Listen to how she's
There
doing this.
are gay, lesbian, and transgender children in Democratic, Republican, and independent families, some who fear for their lives. And the people who pick our crops and clean our office buildings, who labor in poultry farms and meat packing plants, who wash the dishes after we eat in restaurants and work the night shifts in hospitals, they may not be citizens or have the proper documentation, but the vast majority of immigrants are not criminals. They pay taxes and are good neighbors. They are faithful members of our churches and mosques, synagogues, wadara, and temples. I ask you to have mercy, Mr. President, on those in our communities whose children fear that their parents will be taken away, and that you help those who are fleeing war zones and persecution in their own lands to find compassion and welcome here. Our God teaches us that we are to be merciful to the stranger, for we were all once strangers in this land. May God grant us the strength and courage to honor the dignity of every human being, to speak the truth to one another in love, and walk humbly with each other and our God for the good of all people in this nation and the world.
Okay. That was crazy. And you know what? I'm not gonna even get into it. Go ahead, King Tony. How do you feel about that? Go ahead.
I guess she obviously didn't agree with what Trump wants to do.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't really have much to say. She said what she had to say, and that's it. I mean,
That's it. Yep. Anybody else have any opinions?
I
Go
do.
ahead, Jimmy. Go
All
ahead,
right.
Jimmy.
First off, I don't like the tone that she was using. You know what that tone reminded me of?
What?
I'm sorry, Lily. We can't go to the movies and go watch that because of this. We got to be, we can't. We got to keep our morals up. Oh, I'm sorry, Bane. You can't stay up late tonight. It was like she was talking to a kid.
Good point. Good point.
That was the tone that I got from that.
okay.
And it kind of reminded me of the way that the JW elders and COs, I used to give talks. I know that how she was doing that.
Okay.
She was downing them is what she was first off doing. Second of all, she was putting her political ideology in a religious
Mhm.
setting,
Yes. You should never do that.
regardless of whatever she said. Whatever she said, she put political ideology into a religious ceremony.
Yeah.
What does that tell you right there?
Well, wait a minute. What world do you live in, Jimmy?
Exactly. So we know that, but a lot of the people out there, the normies, let's just say the normies, they don't know that.
No,
So
no, they're smarter than that.
I wish they were.
No,
So
people know what's going on now. People are leaving religion because they know that it's political. They know that.
yeah, well,
So
yeah,
they're looking for something that isn't political. Well, they're not going to find it, not unless
yeah,
they read the Bible or follow their faith on their own. But
Right.
they know that religion is just simply an arm of the government. That's it.
yeah. Most.
Simple.
I would like to say, I would like to agree with you and say that, yeah, most people, the majority, I just don't think it's the majority of people believe that yet.
Oh, I don't know if let's just say it's so many people that the Watchtower and other Christian churches are really concerned because people are leaving in droves.
Oh yeah,
So,
I agree with that.
so I don't know what the percentage is, but all I know is they're very seriously wondering what's going to happen with religions.
What?
Yeah, I
Okay.
can speak.
People are leaving
I can speak for
religion.
like my father-in-law and my uncle-in-law across the street. They're not awake to basically anything. They watch the news all the time. They don't get into political stuff, religious stuff. So for someone like that, then
Right.
see a person of religious
Right.
aspect or whatever do that, that's
Well,
going to trigger them.
She's red pilling everybody if that's the case.
Exactly.
She's helping others to realize, look, we are political.
Yeah. So
We
was
are political.
it done on purpose?
Oh, I hope so. I think it was. It should have been. It should have been.
So there's that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, a religion is a religion because the government allows it. And that's why, of course, they get their tax exemption. They're subsidized. Religions are subsidized by the government. Well, don't
Correct.
you think that, yeah, they're just pretending that they're, godly.
Right. I have a problem with that. Yeah, I agree. Before we move on, Jimmy, did you say that you was an elder? I don't think so. I think San Diego.
No, I was
Mr.
never an elder. I was just saying that elders give talks and everything.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay, we
was
wanted to clear that up.
I was never a servant, never an elder. Got passed over for being a servant, and I was pissed about that. But that was years ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, I never served in that capacity.
Okay, San Diego. So he wasn't an elder. Okay, back to the subject. I think she was being, and Tony, let me know if you agree with this, but is that considered like passive aggressiveness, her tone?
I guess
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, that's the vibe I was getting.
Totally.
Yeah.
But it was very aggressive because she's like Jimmy said, you're mixing two things that is inappropriate. And this is your one opportunity to do something or say something, and she took it, man, and she took it the way she wanted. Like that was on purpose. Like you could tell.
There was a prayer. Wasn't that a prayer?
I
That
don't
part
know
wasn't.
because that part wasn't. She was just talking directly to them, like a plea, like a personal plea
Yep.
to President Trump, which I think is inappropriate. You're on a stage, and first of all, it's an abomination that she's a woman in a religious leadership role. That's just my opinion.
That's a little, yeah.
Yeah, that's like wrong for me. And then you're taking advantage of this time to say something like that.
You want to know something? If you go back in our history, if you go back in yours, mine, all of our human history, the only people who were quote unquote religious were women.
Mm-hmm.
Women were priestesses. That's it. It wasn't the men. It was the priestesses were they were healers, and they were priestesses. It was at a point where men came in and basically stole it away from them and took over the priesthood. Women were
Okay.
priests. They were the healers.
Mm-hmm.
They
That's
were the
interesting. I'm gonna look into that because I do know that there were like
we
female
were all
prophets and things like that.
we were all pagans. We came from pagan stock. We were all pagans.
Yeah.
So just a point. That's all. I mean, we've come a far way, a far. In fact, interestingly, maybe, just maybe, depending on how long we continue on, you wonder if whether or not there'll be that going back to the priestess class, which is where we came from. We came from there. I think
Very
it's
interesting. I'll look that up.
It's really interesting. It really is.
But I did want to show you guys this. I wanted to show you the reaction that they had while listening to what she was saying. It is hilarious. I love it. So watch this clip.
This is great.
Interests are furthered by a polarized America. Contempt fuels political campaigns and social media, and many profit from that.
That's Tiffany Trump in the back. That's his daughter.
It's a dangerous way.
You know what? This is what apostates would look like sitting at a Kingdom Hall right now.
Yes, that is so true. Like dumbfounded, like she is
Be like,
not
what?
going to-
And with God's help, I believe that unity in this country is possible. Not perfectly.
And Trump is just there blinking. Like
He's like, what? What are you saying?
Interests are furthered by a polarized America.
Yep. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness,
totally
I thought that was
inappropriate.
hilarious.
Totally
Yeah.
inappropriate.
I'm
She's
shocked that
exercising-
she even got on stage. Like,
She's
they even
exercising
allowed
her
that.
free speech. She's
No, it's free
exercising
speech.
her
Yeah, it's
free
fine.
speech.
But
She's exercising her free speech.
hey, you can say what you
I
want.
get that. Yeah.
I mean,
But for the setting, I believe it was inappropriate. Personally.
Yeah. I don't know. Is there anything else on this page that you wanted to get to, Jimmy? Because there was a lot of orders that he did. I'm going through the pages just in case you wanted to bring something up.
Well, the good thing is we now have had authorization to open up the Alaskan oil fields and Anwar for the drilling purposes. That's good. That helps with the energy. He also passed an emergency energy executive order, or declared an emergency in that regard, which because of declaring an emergency, that gives him a little extra power in getting this energy stuff back on where it needs to be. So I thought those were all good. Withdrawing from the WHO, wonderful move. That needed to happen. Getting us out of the Paris Climate Accord, that needed to happen. And so he signed another executive order, basically saying, hey, we're writing a letter to the UN to say that we're pulling out of WHO and the Paris Climate Accords. Because only thing that those two organizations were good for is money laundering.
Okay, agreed. And there was something about it was called CBP.
Yeah, the CBP-1 app. That is the app that the illegal immigrants were using to go on to and be able to set appointments. And so as soon as he basically, I guess it may have happened before, but maybe after he signed that, that app was shut down. So all these people and their little appointments, they got canceled. So, and then of course, what does the media do? The media goes out and finds the crying woman or the upset man, heartbroken, that they can't get into the United States now. And they're going to use those people to pull on the emotions. You got to recognize the propaganda. So they immediately started doing that. So, yeah, that's a great thing. Shut that app down because we don't need illegal immigrants coming into our country.
Okay. Question before we move on to the chat's question. That app, why was it given to people who crossed illegally?
Because the Biden administration put it into play.
Just for them?
Yes. For the illegal immigrant.
Okay. So it did not exist to be prior to 2023.
I don't know. I think it came in. I don't know what year it started, but I
Okay,
do
'cause it
believe it.
started in 2023. I looked it up
Okay.
in the
Okay. So if it started, so that would be the Biden administration wanting people coming into our country. So the Biden
Okay.
administration did that. Yes.
Okay, because it doesn't make sense to me that something special would be given to people who crossed illegally.
Oh, well, they've
Like, it
got free.
doesn't make sense, right? We were
Yeah.
talking about
Well,
common
of course.
sense. Like,
Yeah.
that
It
don't
doesn't
make
make
sense.
exactly. Why does it make sense for them to, have their hotel rooms paid for and their health care paid for and a free phone and $5,000 on an EBT card just because they're
Yeah.
illegal aliens? Yeah. That none of that made sense. But it was all being done to infiltrate our country.
Okay.
100%.
Agreed. Okay. Question from the chat. JG says, Jimmy, why exit WHO? WHO.
Because the World Health Organization, because of let's look at the financial aspect of it. I think, and please bear with me on the numbers. I'm trying to pull them from my head, but there was China was only paying $290 million into the WHO. The United States is paying in over $500 million into the WHO. But when we had the outbreak of CV, who got all the special treatment? China. What country other than, Britain and just USA for a sake, what good did the WHO do for the United States during that time?
I don't know.
They didn't do squat. They didn't do squat. So why are we going to have our tax dollars go to an organization that doesn't do crap for the United States?
Okay. That makes sense. Oh, well, Jane says also about the apps that it was easier to track them if they had phones and apps and things like that.
I can agree with that.
Okay, I do too. Okay, yeah, so Trump got rid of that. What does that mean? If somebody crosses the border, then what happens? They're gonna get immediately deported, right?
there's video out there where they shut down a port in Texas. Oh, which one was it? I can't remember which one it was, but it showed the military, or at least the border patrol guards, on the border, shutting it down, closed, with an announcement over the intercom loudspeaker saying this: you cannot enter the United States. If you try to enter, you're going to be persecuted. You could be arrested, blah, blah, prosecuted, not persecuted. So yeah, they basically shut the border down. And what Trump showed everybody yesterday with that move is how quick and easy it is to shut the border down.
Because that could have been done very long time ago. Kamala could have done it. Anybody could have done it.
Yeah, it could have been done, but it wasn't. So
it's on purpose.
And he signed an executive order recognizing the Mexican cartels as a foreign terrorist organization.
Yes.
Which is awesome.
Right. So now we can attack them as such, right? We can retaliate as such.
Our military can, yes.
You're right. That's what I've always thought. Like, why don't they use the military for this types of stuff? And
because
why do they allow it?
Yeah, they weren't designated as a terrorist organization. So everybody was fine with the United States going after ISIS or Al Qaeda or whatever, because they were terrorist organizations. In so many words, that's a whole nother story. But so if the United States goes after the Mexican cartels, then that's a good thing. That's a good thing. That's a great thing.
I really like this one. President Trump's America First priorities. This is my cup of tea. I am America First. And I love how it bullet points everything. He's going to secure the border. He's going to end the catch and release policies, deportation operations, suspending refugee resettlement. Armed forces, including the National Guard, will engage in border security. Was that not happening before? Like I'm waking up to stuff now too.
I think the only National Guard that was out were the ones in Texas. I could be
Mm.
wrong, but that's the only one I'm very well aware of.
Wow. Okay. I like this one. The Department of Justice will seek the death penalty as the appropriate punishment for heinous crimes against humanity.
Totally agree with that.
Oh, that's a good one.
Totally agree with that.
Make America affordable and energy dominant again.
Which we were in his first term.
Yes. Ooh, look at this one. Drain the swamp. I've never actually seen it like in official government documents before. Drain the swamp. Like what?
Yeah.
A golden age for America. Wow. Wow, this is amazing. This is my first time actually looking over this.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in there. And I do like the birthright one. The birth, no longer being able to come in and illegal come in and have a baby, and that baby being an American citizen automatically.
Right,
Now,
right. Anchor babies.
I do not believe in anchor babies one bit. I do believe that this executive order will be one that they will choose to fight and take it to the Supreme Court.
Agreed.
And the only
Good
reason I
one.
say that is because of the way some people interpret the 14th Amendment in this aspect.
Yeah, they take advantage of that. You know.
So I do believe this one, which for all intents and purposes is a great thing. I don't think you should be able to have an American citizen, baby, just, you come over the border, have a baby, now it's an American citizen. And then you
No.
get all the benefits based off that baby because it's an American citizen. I don't agree with that.
Right.
So, but I do believe it's going to go to the courts.
I do like this one. Bring back American values. It says the president will establish male and female as biological reality and protect women from radical gender ideology. That right there is women's rights. So if you are a feminist, you should be happy about that one. And then the next one says American landmarks will be named to appropriately honor our nation's history.
Yes. So let's touch on that real quick. And these are the ones I sent you. One of the things is changing the name. The mountain, they called it Denali. I think they only did that in 2015. So they changed the mountain name of Mount McKinley to Mount Denali. And so Trump's basically saying, give that back. It's going to be called Mount McKinley because that's part of our history. And for those that don't know, McKinley is one of our presidents that was assassinated. So so that should be an honor in his name. The other one, I know a lot of people laugh at this and scoff at this, but renaming the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. And actually, Ron DeSantis put it out last night officially for Florida. They are going to start referring it to as the Gulf of America. Now, a lot of people say, oh, that's just silly. There's more important things going on. And why is he focused on this? Well, we know that we are in the middle of an information war, a war on families and everything like that. We're also in a culture war. If you destroy a nation's culture, then they are easier to conquer. So, for example, let's look at the attacks on American culture over the last couple of years. And Ruby, you have what I sent you in DMs. I told you I'd explain these to you later. There's the three.
I do. Okay, so I'm going to share my DMs with everybody. Hold on one second.
Ruby, while you're doing that, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Jimmy mentioned before. Was it called the Golden Age, Jimmy?
That's what they're called. We can come back to that. I know where you're going to go with that.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so these are my DMs, everyone. Here's Jimmy Bell. And which one would you like me to pull up? The first one is about the museum.
Yes, go ahead and read that.
Okay, the title says...
And the date.
The date. Okay, July 16th, 2020. It says, deeply insulting. African American Museum accused of racism over whiteness chart linking hard work and nuclear family to white culture. And then here's the chart.
Okay. What was going on during that time period that information was put out?
The BLM riots.
Okay. So that adds fuel to the fire, wouldn't you say?
Yes, of course.
Okay. And would that chart and everything be an attack on culture?
Yes, and a specific culture because they're saying white culture.
Correct. All right. Let's go to the next one.
Okay, moving on. Let's see. Oops. Okay. The next one says
And the date.
Kamala. Okay, the date. August 27th, 2024. Oh, last year. Kamala Harris surrogate calls Bill of Rights a little piece of paper, wants to reimagine democracy.
Is that
August 27th, 2024.
does that sound like an attack on culture? Because a lot of people, we like our Bill of Rights, and it's not white, black, whatever. Every American who loves this country likes the Bill of Rights.
Yeah, I think they're like diminishing it when she says a little piece of paper.
Exactly. It's just another shot at our culture, just another little attack at the culture. Okay, go ahead. The next one.
All right. The next one. This is dated August 16th, 2018. It says New York Governor Andrew Cuomo says America was never that great.
Exactly. He said that. So that putting that information out there, that feeds into the psyche of the people that read it. And I know that this propaganda has worked because during the last 4 years or so, I've had people say, well, Jimmy, America's never been great. Okay. Where are they getting that idea from? Okay. That can be argued. It's a whole nother debate. People can talk about that. But my point in all of this is all three of those were attack on American culture.
Yes, agreed.
And so by Trump saying, hey, we're just going to rename the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, in the psyche, that is a positive thing that we like for our culture. So it's a cultural war.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is.
So for those that might think, oh, that's just a little silly thing, again, you're not opening your minds big enough and thinking deep enough on why that would happen. It's an attack on culture, and he's trying to reestablish the culture
by putting back those names that actually mean something to us, right?
Yeah,
because they're trying to change it.
And the deep state was also going around renaming military bases.
Yep.
Oh, and renaming baseball and football teams.
That's true.
So they were going out and renaming everything. But Trump goes out and says, hey, let's call it the Gulf of America. They want to lose their damn minds and make it an issue.
Correct.
See the hypocrisy there?
Yep. And they tried to use racism as a cover as to why they're changing this. We want to be more
exactly.
inclusive, and it's so racist to say Redskins. Meanwhile, that's been the name since forever. Nobody had a problem with it.
It's just another form of them trying to divide the American people.
Right. Okay. Do you want to go on to what Fran was saying about the golden era?
That's going to lead into Freemasonry stuff. And in my opinion, I think that's where she's going with that. And honestly, if we want, I don't feel like talking about Freemasonry stuff.
Okay.
But I do know where people are going with that and the signs and symbols.
No, actually, it wasn't, Jimmy. I was just going to make the point that Watchtower, the
Awake magazine.
The Awake was originally the Golden Age. So I just thought that was interesting that they were using that expression. That's all.
It was Zion.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. And I think my only response to this at the moment would be, I think this has more to do with our monetary system, that we're going back to the gold standard.
Oh, okay.
And I think that's why he's referring to it as the golden age.
I see.
Because a lot of that's been said.
Yeah.
That's a good point, because I was actually thinking of Queen Elizabeth, golden age or golden era, when they described her reign as the golden age, because there was prosperity, there was peace and stuff like that.
You
Yeah.
know, if
I mean,
could,
even one last comment. Even people that say that they're retired, whether it's their golden years.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
yeah,
Go ahead, Jeff.
if I could just say that everything I've learned, my father worked for the government for all his life, and he was pretty disgusted about it too, because he said all they do is lie, but he liked the paycheck. Everything the government does, basically, they do it for show, but they do things behind the closed doors that people can't see, and then they end up showing it. So what I'm wondering right now is everything that's so visible and so out in the open right now, what's behind it? There's things that the fire is raging behind.
I agree. I agree. This is why the digital soldiers do what we do. We try to get behind enemy lines and find out what's going on.
Yeah. We're going to show a short video on tomorrow night. It's on false flags, identifying false flags.
It's called
yeah.
the PSYOP. Yeah. Speaking of tomorrow night, just a real quickie, Ruby. If Vern and Shauna aren't able to host us, would you be able to? She didn't want to ask you because she knew that your cousin just passed away, but you said that you weren't sure of the arrangements or anything. Would you be available if Vern and Shauna couldn't do it?
Oh yeah, I should be home.
Okay, I'll mention it to them then. That's okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
usually
thank
home.
you.
Yeah.
Okay.
No
all right.
problem, Joanne
Thank you.
Fran.
Oh, thank
You're
you.
welcome.
That was just-
Yeah, I think the chat was really active when we were talking about the name switches. Debbie
Yeah,
Smith said like renaming the pancake syrup.
Exactly. I looked over there real briefly and saw that. Yeah, exactly. Renaming the pancake syrup and taking Uncle Ben off the box of rice.
Yeah.
It's
And,
funny. It's funny they got. It's kind of funny. Okay, Aunt Jemima, is she black, right?
Yes.
Uncle Ben's black, right? Isn't he black
Yes.
too?
Yeah.
Okay. So why do the white characters get to stay on?
Yeah, like the Quaker and
the
they
Quaker
even
Oats
took
guy.
the Indian off the butter one.
Yeah. So the white character gets to stay on, but all the other ones get to come off.
And that's how you know this is all fake. It's just
It's all bullcrap and propaganda.
Yeah, which is why I would never even agree in it to begin with. But they always want to make it seem like they are as if they have to prove that they're inclusive and they're not racist.
They are
Like
so
when they
not-
like when they used to say it's not good enough not to just say you're racist, but you have to go out of your way for another race or whatever. And it's like, no, I'm not doing the performative acts in public or whatever. No.
Yeah. It's all
just
bullcrap.
weird. Yeah, and people take it too far.
Anything else in the chat?
Yeah, somebody did ask about some statues because they changed the names of something, and I think it was the one they took down of Robert E.
Yeah,
Lee.
again, all that was an attack on our culture. You know, that's all that was. It was all
in Columbus. Yeah, there you go.
it's all an attack on the culture. Because if you can destroy a country's culture and the country's identity, then the next generations that come along won't know the culture and the true identity of said country. So it would be easier for them to be taken over.
Yeah. And with what little they do know, they are trained to hate it. So when you go to public school, that's all they're talking about is to hate that.
I thought about this earlier today. I was like, how can I create this as an illustration or as an example? And the only thing I could come up in my head, see if this makes sense. What's Germany known for?
The Volkswagen car and the Holocaust and
Okay.
Hitler.
Okay. All right. Well, I was going a little more culture-y. Oktoberfest.
Oktoberfest.
Yeah, it's where they go,
Oh,
the big drinking parties and everything they do. Okay, right?
oh, I'm sorry, guys. Don't mind me.
Yeah, you were.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey, you were
Jimmy.
thinking big. You were thinking big, though. Okay. So we'll get back to that. We'll go back to that. Oh, bye, guys. But we know that Germany is known for Oktoberfest, right?
Okay, okay.
Okay. And in Japan, what is the most popular sporting event in Japan?
I have no clue.
Sumo wrestling.
Oh, that's right. Oh, I'm stupid. I'm sorry. I'm retarded sometimes, guys. Sorry.
Okay, so this is what I was trying. If these people who have been taking the names off of things and changing everything and attacking our culture, pulling down statues, would these same people be able to go into Germany and say, "Hey, Germans, you can't do Oktoberfest because that promotes alcohol, which promotes promiscuity and this and that, and it's just so
Yeah.
bad"? Or will they be able to go to Japan and say, "Hey, Japanese people, you are exploiting obese individuals, and this is disgusting"? That would these people be able to go into those countries and change their culture?
I don't think so.
Why are we
They'll
allowing
try.
it here? Why are we allowing it here?
Exactly. That's the whole point. And then in 20 years,
Well,
America will be unrecognizable.
Exactly.
Well, wait. Well, that's a good question. Hi. Yeah, they could change the culture because culture's always been changed, so long as if there was an agenda for it.
Right.
You know, they set their sights, and it takes a long time.
Oh yeah,
The Jesuits did that in China.
yeah.
They did
Yeah,
that.
if the people are not aware, I was just kind of doing it on just a simple scale for people to understand, because we could go much deeper into that, because there's been many nations where their cultures have been destroyed.
Well, the danger
Indians?
there is anyone's culture can be changed. In fact, they're doing it all the time right now with us.
I guess maybe I should have said, would it make sense, instead of saying, could they change the culture? Well, yeah, they could. After a number of years, they could try. But would it make sense to go into Germany or Japan and try to get those things changed?
Right.
There we go.
Only if they were to profit from it.
So why are we allowing that in America?
And there would
Because-
be major pushbacks. That's another thing.
Nah.
Like, you can't
yeah.
go to China and tell Chinese people not to believe in their 2,000, 1,000-year God or whatever.
Look, we were around from after the war, and I've seen an incredible change of culture. I couldn't stop the change. I accepted it. I had no choice. Well, the culture has been changed. It's being changed right now as we speak.
Well, yeah, it's all been done by design. They just wanted to destroy America.
Well,
so,
yeah, maybe they want to build up something else.
oh, they're trying. That's the New World Order. What they're trying to do.
And yeah. I mean, see, we read about these different changes in the Bible. You know, one world government led to another, to another, to another. We just so happen to be living through one. Whereas those people around that time, they were living through it. And I guess now we get to feel what it was like.
Yeah, we're feeling a lot of things that we have never had to feel before.
We just don't like it.
I saw a comment just real briefly that said China doesn't have TikTok.
Oh yeah, and I said
That's just for us.
They never did.
That's
did they?
just for us.
From what I understand, and I'll fact check myself, or somebody can fact check me right now. From what I understand, China does have TikTok, but they monitor what's on the TikTok platform there. They actually show educational things. They don't show teen girls doing little dances and trends and showing their asses and all that. They scrubbed all that. So from what I understand is most of TikTok in China is for educational purposes for their purpose.
Well, that sounds boring.
Yeah, they control everything. Debbie Smith has a question. She says, now that Trump is in, will he go forward with the 15-minute cities, or is he against it?
I've never seen anything where Trump has backed those or promoted those, because that is an agenda of the World Economic Forum. And I know Trump is not. Trump told them people back at Davos years ago that he was not on board with what they were doing. So I do not believe Trump will institute 15-minute cities. As of right now, I don't see any evidence to that.
Okay. And did you see this clip of Trump talking about North Carolina? Just wanted Jimmy to see this.
We're going to take care of Los Angeles. I'm going there. I'm going to North Carolina, which has been abandoned by the Democrats. And I'm going to North Carolina, very importantly, first. I'll be there on Friday. And then I'm going from there to Los Angeles. And then I'm going to Nevada. We're going to take care of Los Angeles.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay. That's really nice that he's going to go over there.
Well, it needs to. I mean, we got people in the mountains freaking living in tents right now in this weather we're living. It's horrible what the government has allowed to happen in North Carolina. It's horrible.
Yeah. Did Joe Biden go?
Did he come down? I think he came down here for like a photo op. I think he did.
I thought they flew over. I heard that they had him and Kamala flew over North Carolina.
I knew they flew. I want to say he landed and had some conversations with people. I want to say he did. I could be wrong, but I think he did.
Okay. Did he visit LA?
Biden?
Yeah.
No.
Does anybody know? Okay. I was wondering about that, because usually presidents do go right when there's like a natural disaster or like a hurricane or something like that. They usually go there and they're on the ground. So I just can't remember for the life of me if he was actually there.
Yeah, I think Biden was on the ground. Somebody can look it up and fact check it.
All right. In the chat, John Marciano says, what about the Ukraine war and Israel war? Why is money still flowing to those wars and weapons?
Well, Trump put another executive order. Trump did is he put a pause, I guess it would say, on foreign money going out. I think it's like a 90-day pause that no money was going out for foreign aid.
Yeah, correct. I think they called it a freeze. I think I saw that.
Yeah,
too.
freeze. Yeah, freeze. It was a freeze. And this is a good thing because now the Trump administration, the team can get in there and find out, okay, where's this money going? They can figure out what's been going on. So I don't think you'll see any more money go to Ukraine.
Okay. What about I mean, I don't want to put anybody on the spot, but I think there was a ceasefire in Israel. Does that mean anything? Because I heard some people saying like, oh, that doesn't really mean anything. Nothing really is going to end. And, going on and on that it wasn't really anything.
This is
Netanyahu does not like the deal that was struck.
this we're seeing.
Okay.
They're showing.
So I don't know. Like Trump said last night, he said, someone asked him about Israel and Palestine. And he's like, it's not our war.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if you look at that through the lens of a republic, it's not our war. But if you want to look at it through the lens of a corporation, then yeah, it's our war too.
Yeah, I agree.
So this goes back to us not being isolationist. It's a little cold out here. Isolationist. It's like, it's not our problem.
Well, I said it. I've said it since day one. I am an isolationist. I agree with all of that. We should have never gotten involved. So I'm happy that Trump is going to do that.
Yeah. So we'll see how all that plays out. But I know that Netanyahu, I don't trust that guy one bit. He didn't like the deal that was put up. So we'll see what happens.
Okay, question, Jimmy. When we were talking about the 14th Amendment and anchor babies, and I do like the title of it, it's protecting like protecting the meaning and value of American citizenship. Remember when we
Yes.
were talking about if he were to buy Greenland or something to that nature?
Right.
And I told you like our citizenship is not up for sale and it
Correct.
wouldn't matter to me. I would never consider them American.
Correct.
Do you think that this can also apply to them if he buys Greenland, let's say, for example, and they would be considered Americans, like Puerto Rico is considered Americans, but they don't vote or have a vote?
I think if the situation with Greenland goes into play like that, I think they'll end up like Puerto Rico.
Okay. You see, that's the issue. It's like I wouldn't even consider them Americans. And if Trump really means about protecting the meaning and value of American citizenship, just because we buy you doesn't mean you're a citizen. Just because you're born here doesn't mean you're a citizen.
Well, I mean, I've got a buddy. He's from Puerto Rico, and you ask him, what's your nationality? He'll say Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
He doesn't say American. He says, I'm Puerto Rican. So
Right.
even though they're a United States territory, that's how he views it. So I think that would be the same thing for the people that live in Greenland.
No, I get it. But I'm like so nationalistic that I would not consider them American. And that might look like I'm going against my own values because I'm Puerto Rican myself. But if you really think about it, they don't even have a vote in Puerto Rico. They're not even
Right.
considered
I
a
see what
state
you're
or
saying.
anything.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean that's like my only problem, that it feels like no, if you really meant to protect what it means to be American and citizenship, then that should be the hardest thing to get in the world because it means more than just being bought or crossing the border and being
And
born
what
here.
they've done, what the deep state has done over the years is devalue our
Right, that's my
citizenship.
fear.
They've devalued our citizenship. When you start giving money and housing and healthcare and education to illegal immigrants
Right.
while Americans are homeless, hungry, that's devaluing our citizenship.
Okay, that's kind of how I feel. It was kind of like that fear of something like that happening again.
Right.
Because instead of that happening again, why don't we focus on making Puerto Rico more American than they should be? They should be considered real Americans if that's the case. But you're going to go ahead and buy something else and then start that all over again I don't know. I kind of feel like that island is forgotten. Those people are forgotten. Whereas Alaska became a state, Hawaii became, you know what I'm saying? Like, why not Puerto Rico? I feel like we're skipping over them.
Right. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I don't think they'll become a state. I think they'll be treated like Puerto Rico.
All right.
We'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, exactly. I was just about to say that. I guess we're gonna have.
I know we say that a lot, but that's true. We got to see how some of this stuff plays out.
All right. So, I mean, what happens now? Because we saw him sign everything. The next 100 days, what happens now?
You're going to see a flurry of changes that are designed to help Americans. Our energy, should come down. I mean, again, some of these things take a little bit of time. But I think by the end of the year, your gas prices are going to be lower. Your energy costs will be lower. The tax situation. Now, that's another huge thing because there's a lot of chatter out there right now about getting rid of the Federal Reserve and the personal income tax.
Yes.
There's a lot of chatter about that, which if that's the case, that would hold true to the values of the republic and not the corporation, because
Right.
the Republic of the United States never had income taxes.
Mm-hmm.
Never.
Wow. Okay. So then what is okay, if that goes through, does that mean we don't have to do income taxes for 2025?
I don't know how they're going to play it. I don't know. I don't know what's going to be announced. I don't know if it's going to be 2025 or 2026, but I do believe we are going to see our personal income taxes go away.
Okay. Joseph says in the chat about the Panama Canal issues. Did you see that on X that they were burning the American flag? How do you feel about that?
What, Panama was burning the American flag?
Yeah, that they in protest they were burning the American flag. I saw that on X. I was wondering.
Panama needs to get a grip.
Okay.
Because unfortunately, the Panama Canal has been infiltrated and taken over and I won't say gifted. Let's just say they've gotten buddy with China.
Right. That's
And
always dangerous.
Exactly. And if China has any control over the Panama Canal, any at all, what's that going to do for our trade routes?
Right.
What's that going to do for our economy?
Mm-hmm.
So the Panama Canal was ours to begin with. Panama had a treaty. We had a treaty with Panama, and they have failed to uphold their end of the treaty.
Right.
And since they've done that, then it needs to come back to the United States.
Okay. I mean, yeah, it should have never gone to begin with. I mean, I don't know why we keep doing this if we're the empire. I mean, I don't want to say it like that, but
well, if you are somebody, or you're an organization, or you're the deep state globalist, you don't want America to be the empire. So you do everything you can to diminish it. And cutting off and messing with the trade routes is just another weapon in their little quiver.
okay. And along those,
I'm having so much fun with this.
yeah, me too, because it's educational for me. Okay, another thing, I forgot what it was called, but it was one of those things signed was it in the 1800s? I don't know. I don't know what it was called, but it was something to the effect of the Western Hemisphere, that anything that was in the Western Hemisphere would be in the control of America. Do you remember what that's called? I forgot. It was one of those old presidents, because I remember going over that lesson in homeschooling, and we learned about that one. I forgot. But basically, it was like nobody can really do dealings or have anything over here, because they were trying to prevent the British from getting territories and stuff in the Western, like those islands.
Yeah,
and all that stuff
I know what you're talking about, but off the top of my head, I can't comment on it because I'm like
Monroe Doctrine. Thank you, Gigi. That's what it was. Yes, the Monroe Doctrine.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you, Gigi.
Yeah.
So the Monroe Doctrine. Wouldn't that also fall under that with the Panama Canal? Like, why did we even let that begin if we had the Monroe Doctrine?
That's why you see the left out here calling it the Don Roe Doctrine. So yeah, I can see that I can see that playing together. They're calling it the Don Roe Doctrine. I've seen that in several places.
Okay, that was my thinking, because I was like, that could have, like, it should have been used, because we already have something similar to other nations or anybody else trying to get over, trying to make deals over here. Like, that should have been a no-go from the beginning.
Should have been.
Okay, so I'm noticing little things, like when I do homeschooling and I be learning. It's like I'm relearning everything. I'm like,
oh yeah, we all are.
I'm like, oh, like where was I when I was in school? Like, where was I? Like, I was not conscious when I was learning.
You were tuning out the programming.
I guess so. I don't know, because I was homeschooled as well, and I just don't remember any of this being taught the way I'm teaching it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's if anybody has questions in the chat, put them in the chat now, and I'm gonna star them, and then I'm gonna bring them up for Jimmy, because I wanted to show Jimmy one of these tweets. I have this little X troll, and he's pretty friendly, but I like him. His name is Alonzo on X, and he always like tags me on something, and he always sarcastically mentions something while he's quote tweeting, and then he tags me, right?
Right.
So this is what he says. He tags me and he says, "A new era of imperialism has begun. I'm enjoying it. Thanks, Trump." And what he's quoting is this. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro says he will invade Puerto Rico with Brazilian troops and liberate them from the United States.
Oh, really?
Y Abreu de Lima ir al frente. Batallón Abreu de Lima para liberar Puerto Rico. ¿Qué te parece? ¿Ah?
I mean,
Así como
I don't take
tienen
that
una agenda de
seriously,
colonización,
in my opinion.
nosotros tenemos una agenda de liberación. Y
Okay,
nosotros
so this is the first I'm hearing of this.
está pendiente la libertad de Puerto Rico y la lograremos. Bravo.
Okay, so he's saying that he's going to liberate Puerto Rico. He says the freedom of Puerto Rico is pending, and we will achieve it with Brazilian troops. I just think he's just talking out his ass. I don't believe this.
My first instinct, because my first intuition on this is, yeah, I agree with you, Ruby. I think this is bullshit.
Yeah.
What has anybody ever talked about liberating Puerto Rico from the United States?
No.
No. And Maduro, you know, he is a socialist. He's part of their little New World Order system. So, yeah. And he's just trying to ruffle some feathers. Do you really think that the Venezuelan army can handle the United States Army? No.
No. So you know what I said to Alonzo there? I said, LOL, let him try.
Exactly.
Because I know damn well ain't nobody in their right mind is actually gonna do that.
No. That's I had not seen that, so thank you for sharing that with me. I found that funny.
That was posted on January 12th on X from Brick News Twitter page.
Okay.
If
Okay.
anybody's interested, that's what happened recently. And then, you know, Alonzo, he kind of tags me on all of these things and then sarcastically says stuff like that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I mean, what's your point? Like, why are you tagging me in this? Like,
I have a few of those trolls.
yeah, but what gets me confused is if you see my X page, you will know very quickly where I stand on, you know, on politics. And
Yeah.
if you see my YouTube, I do not hide anything. I have said crazy stuff on here, right? You know, like appropriate for YouTube. So why you keep tagging me? You know what I'm saying? Like, is he trying to make me laugh, or is he trying like I don't know what type of emotion he's trying to get out of me, but it's not working because all I do is like LOL, big whoop. Like it doesn't mean anything to me.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I do believe there's a lot of people out there that just want to hear their opinion and their take on things come out of your mouth.
Yeah, like I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know how to feel about stuff like that.
Yeah,
It's just stupid because it's like if you actually believe that, then you're stupid because this guy is just talking out his butt, talking about liberating Puerto Rico when you know damn well Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory and nobody messes with the U.S. Like, stop playing with us. You know?
Maduro, take care of your own damn country before you start trying to liberate Puerto Rico. Why don't you go ahead and liberate Venezuela?
Mm-hmm. Yup, that's what Clooney says. Go liberate Venezuela.
Yeah, see, I didn't even see the chat, so I can't.
Yup.
But yeah, go liberate. Take care of your own damn country before you start doing that. So yeah, that's that's crazy.
Okay. Yep. All right. Is there anything else that you wanted to move on?
Did you see the little video I put up the other day? A little 2-minute video I did. Did you see it?
On YouTube?
Yeah.
I think I did. When did you post it? Today or yesterday?
Last night.
Last night. I think
It's called I sent it in the chat. I didn't know if you wanted to play it. It's only 2 minutes, and I give folks a time in the chat to come up with some questions and everything.
Okay, I'm gonna look you up right now.
I didn't know if you've seen it yet or not. I thought it was pretty good.
Okay, I think I saw the one you posted today that you're back on Facebook.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that was today.
Okay, I saw that one. Oh, the best is yet to come. That one.
Yeah, have you seen that yet?
I have not. Okay, let's watch it together.
Yeah, go ahead and play it.
Okay, I'm gonna play it.
I was kind of proud.
That's dynamite, Jimmy. That was
Yeah,
dynamite.
that was great.
Dynamite.
Thanks, y'all. Thanks, y'all.
Really,
Were you narrating that?
Yeah, that was me.
that was
What?
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was me.
Do more. Do more of
What?
that. That's,
Towards the
that's
end,
great.
I started recognizing the voice. I said, "No way, this is Jimmy narrating."
Yeah, that was me the whole time.
Oh my goodness, you're amazing! Wow, Jimmy, that
Thanks
was
for
awesome.
thanks for playing that.
Yeah, what?
Now, I'm gonna tell you a little secret, and only the people that are watching this right now will watch this show. Do you know? Did you like the information?
Yes,
Did the information make sense?
yes.
You know what that was from?
Mm-mm.
What?
It was a Q post.
Okay, I got the vibes. I did get the vibes.
That was a Q post. It was one of my favorite Q posts. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna make a video about this.
Wow.
Most people won't know that.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody, y'all just got the secret.
Very nice, Jimmy. Debbie Moore entered the chat and she is asking if you are actually back on Facebook. So if you want to give a little announcement one more time for anybody who's watching.
Yeah, guys, just real quick. How much back? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm back on Facebook, but you have to, if you search for me, go to Jimmy Bell in the search bar, Jimmy Bell Waynesboro, and that should come up. It's my picture that you guys are all familiar with. My banner it's a lion that says, I'm not done yet. And so you'll see independent representative for AFLAC. It gives you kind of idea that you're friend requesting the right Jimmy Bell. So you'll have to send me a friend request because for some reason it's not allowing me to just go out and get a bunch of friend requests. I can't send friend requests. There it is.
Okay, so I'm going to leave this up for a second. If anybody wants to do that, you're going to have to be specific. So you'll see his profile. It says lives Liberty, North Carolina, from Waynesboro, Virginia.
I did get back into my XJW group, Toppling the Tower Globally, and I was able to get back into the group I created, Apostate for 45. So I put up new banner. Thank God I made my wife an admin of those accounts years ago. So I was able to go back in and under her name, invite me, make me admin, all that good stuff. So I'm back in those two groups.
Awesome. San Diego says, yep, Jimmy is reinstated.
Hey, I'm just going to say Trump had me pardoned, okay?
Yep, Jennifer M says his free speech has been restored.
Yeah. Trump had me pardoned.
Oh my goodness. That makes me think I should check my YouTube probation, see if it came off, my probation.
I doubt YouTube has done that. I don't know. Yeah, I doubt they have.
Oh man, that was.
But I do believe, and of course, you're going to have. Remember, we're not done with this war yet. We just started yesterday. So the left wing, the rhinos, the attacks are going to keep coming. For example, you have the people that were the J6 people that were pardoned and some of their sentences were commuted. You've got the DC prisons not letting these people out. U.S. Marshals had to go in today around 4:00.
Really?
Yeah. And the mayor of Washington, I'm not calling it Washington, D.C. anymore. The mayor of Washington, she is wanting the J6ers to sign NDAs so they won't talk about the abuse that they received while they were there, the tampering with their food and all that. That's what she wants them to do.
Oh, wow.
So that came out late this afternoon.
Wow, that's crazy. What?
So they're still going to, and they also, so they went ahead, get this, they went ahead, the Senate did, and approved Marco Rubio as Secretary of State.
Yeah.
Do you know what the vote was?
What? No, I don't.
99 to nothing.
What does that mean?
Okay, so just put that in the back of your head.
Okay.
But they have postponed Pam Bondi. They have not scheduled Cash Patel, and it was the other one they put off. Was it Christy Nome? There's like 3 major ones that they've put off. They don't even want to do the hearing. But 99-0 on Marco Rubio tells me that my first instinct was he's not a good guy. I don't like Marco Rubio. I don't trust him. I think he's a rhino.
Okay.
And I think he's in that position where Trump wants one of his enemies close by so he can keep an eye on him.
Okay.
And to get 99 unanimous votes, come on. I don't agree with that. You see where I'm kind of going with that? He's like,
I mean,
the deep state likes him. So
yeah, okay, right. But he was my senator before this.
Yeah.
And I voted for him. But remember when I told you that I was under the impression of vote red down the ballot no matter what type of thing, and I regretted that?
Right. I
never really understood why he was considered a rhino. So I know that it's said of him. I just never kind of saw it for myself. So
when he first came out, he was saying all the right things. He was, I guess he had hands in creating the Tea Party movement, and I think he was there early on. But if you look at the voting record that he's had, the history of his voting record, it's pro deep state.
Okay.
So you have to look at their voting record to see what they do.
Okay. So I didn't. What was shocking to me is that I didn't know that Kristen Noem? She was the governor of South Dakota, right?
Kristi Noem, yeah.
Christine? I don't know her first name. Sorry.
Kristi.
Okay, I thought she was the governor. So what happened? She resigned or something?
I think so. Yeah. Well, yeah. If you're going to take a position, you need to resign. Yeah.
Oh wow!
So, yeah,
I didn't know she joined the team. She joined the Trump train.
Yeah. I still have questions about her, but damn, she's hot.
Okay. And actually,
she's got great hair.
Yeah. I was watching a few of those appointments. Before you go, Jimmy, before any of us go, because I might wrap it up in a few, but question: when we were doing the ceremony stuff, I think it was yesterday. Remember when they had the red coats and they were all marching and playing the flute thingy? That's the first time that I've seen that, and I don't fully understand it. So I wanted to ask you about that. Why were they there, and why were they wearing red coats?
Okay, who are the redcoats? Who were the redcoats?
The British, I think, right?
Okay. So if you look at that video, you had our Marines on one side while they were doing their little march and everything. As they got towards the end, what did our Marines do? They showed their swords. So in my opinion, this is showing the deep state, hey, we're done with your system. We've beat you, and we're not going to be playing this cabal thing in London from London anymore. You're done. That's what it kind of symbolized to me.
Okay. And then the moment when Trump had the big sword, that's the first time that I've seen that. What is that?
Okay, do you I saw that. I thought it was great. He was having a lot of fun, but there is a little symbol there. There's a little calm there. This was the second time that he's done a sword dance.
Okay. Yeah.
Because the first time he did it was in Saudi Arabia in 2017 when the prince, king, whatever, allowed Trump to have the sword.
Right.
In Saudi Arabian history, no one is allowed to touch the sword except the king.
Right.
Saudi Arabia allowed Trump to touch the sword. Take it for what you want.
Yeah, it means a lot. Yeah.
It means a lot. So this was kind of a harking back to that situation.
Okay.
Because a lot of people ask, what was that sword thing about? Oh, well, let me tell you what he did in Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm.
And then that opens up a whole new thing to go research.
Okay. Yeah, we saw that documentary, The Greatest Show on Earth, and Tony found his X page and she was sharing it with me. And I'm like, yeah, I remember I did the watch party. So we got to do part 2 watch party. So
Yeah.
one of these Tuesdays we'll do part 2 for the watch party. Okay. Is there anything else that before we leave tonight that you want to bring up, or any final thoughts?
I think I saw somebody say something about cities getting raided, ICE.
Yeah, they were saying, are there going to be immigration raids?
I do believe there will be.
I mean, how else are they going to catch them, right? They're not going to give
Yeah.
up.
I do believe that's
hopefully.
going to happen. I don't know when. Like, well, Trump said, he's like, I'm not going to tell you when, but yeah, it'll probably happen. He actually said it last night.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's true or not, but I did see something, and y'all can check it out and see if it's true or not. But I think it was the Department of Justice put out a tweet last night that said that they were going to be offering $750 per illegal immigrant that's turned over by an American citizen.
Is that nationwide?
Nationwide. I don't know if that is true or not. I just saw a couple tweets about it. So it might be something that needs to be looked into. But they said, yeah, or it was ICE, not the Department of Justice. But they said ICE put that out. I don't know how true that is or not, or even if it is.
Mm-hmm.
Just something to look into.
Okay.
But that would be, I asked my wife, I said, baby, how much money would you make in a day if that were the case? She says, Lord have mercy, because she works at the health department.
Wow.
And she sees a lot of illegals come in.
Oh,
Yeah, it's easy to make a phone call and that's it.
So I don't know if that's the case. Just putting it out there.
Okay, I'm also checking X really quickly to see if they have it here. And I think that's why the left really hates that, is because of how swift it can be, and they want to, claim like human rights and things like that. But everybody forgets that they are illegal.
Yeah.
They do not have the same rights as we do. So
Correct.
we cannot put that same sentimental, emotional thing. And no, you can't. Not with
because what you got to realize is, and Trump's been telling everybody this for 4 years, you've got other countries emptying their prisons and their insane asylums and sending them here.
Yeah.
So, the media can go all day long about this mama and her 2 babies and they just want a better life, blah, 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 ignoring the 100 men that just crossed that have raped and killed people.
Wow. Gigi says Border Patrol agent shot dead by H.
In Vermont.
Illegal alien. What?
Yeah, last night.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, up in Vermont.
Wow.
So that's why there needs to be a death penalty for any illegal immigrant that kills police officers and American citizen.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Really quickly, Debbie Moore, I saw your comment. So Orthodox, it goes by ethnic groups. So I do know about the Russian Orthodox, and Putin is, the whole country, Russia is really Orthodox. So, I don't really have an opinion about that because I don't know their culture or their traditions. It's very similar, but it's everybody's opinion whether or not Putin is a good guy or a bad guy. I don't think so, personally. So, that's all I can say about that. The faith is the same. It doesn't really matter what ethnic background you're from. Orthodoxy is the same. But they've demonized Russia so much And I've noticed that they are Orthodox Christians, and that also brings me a red flag of why America is so hardcore on Russia like that, when in reality they're not really that bad. Like it's just my opinion that they're not our enemy, that they're trying to make it to be, and I don't agree with that.
I'll agree with you, Ruby, in a sense, because Russia has always been our ally, going all the way back to the Revolutionary War. As far as Putin is concerned, I believe the original Putin was a bad guy.
Okay.
Putin 2.0, not a bad guy.
Why? Okay, why would you say that? Because he was a part of the KGB.
He's been
or something
replaced.
like that?
He's been replaced. There's a different Putin.
No, but I mean, why would the original Putin be bad though? Like, why would you?
Because he was being influenced by the deep state.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's the one that had the what do they call them in Russia? Not mafia, but oh, come on, y'all! Somebody in the chat.
I thought it was the KGB, right?
Yeah, there you go, the KGB. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I said. Like, because he was a part of that. That's why you believe that he was. It's like the Russian mafia or something.
Yes. So I do believe that the original Putin was going to allow the deep state to try to get into Russia.
Okay. Interesting.
So that's just my opinion.
Okay.
But I do believe.
I don't know.
I think the Putin we're seeing now, yeah, I believe he's a white hat.
Okay. I have this starred here. Sorry, JG, I didn't bring this up earlier. He says, Jimmy, do you have info regarding the Trump and Melania crypto coin? Seems a bit opportunistic of him. Any thought? Gigi knows a lot about finance. Any thoughts?
When it comes to this crypto stuff, I'll have to be honest with you guys. I don't know much about it. I don't know how it works. I don't know how it operates. I know it has. It's just the person to ask these questions would be John. John, my buddy. He knows this stuff. he knows this stuff. He'll tell you, but I don't. So I don't know what the intentions of these coins. I don't know what's about. I have no comment. I'm sorry. I wish I did. Because there's a part of me that wants to get into XRP. I want to. It's supposed to be another system that's going to be used for our financial system. It's another crypto thing.
Okay.
It's like at $2.70 right now. But the people that are into XRP and talking about it say that that's going to go to the moon. But my gut, my soul tells me that anything crypto is bad. That's what it just tells me.
Right. Agreed.
So I've got to go with that. As far as what they're trying to do or what, I don't know.
Okay,
Sorry.
I agree with you, and I also agree with Debbie. She says Bitcoin is money laundering. It's something, and with the little knowledge that I know about it, it's kind of like how they said NFTs were fraudulent or whatever, and Trump was trying to make a money move like he did with the Bible, he did with the NFTs, and now he's doing with the coins, and the list goes on. I just think it's a money play. I don't think it makes too much of anything.
I think one thing that people need to understand about Trump is, and he's proven this, he does certain things to expose something.
Yeah.
He's been doing this from day one. And he said, that's fake news. He exposed the fake news. He said, ivermectin and HCQ are the cure for this. He was exposing what the deep state was getting ready to do to us. So he always, every time he does something, there's a reason why he does it.
I get that. But I do agree with Kat B in the chat. She says they want to get rid of cash because it's personal freedom. I agree with that too. That's why we have to reject any sort of digital money or credit scores or whatever fake money out there. I would personally reject it.
All right, read her comment again.
She said they want to get rid of cash because it's personal freedom. Cash is personal freedom. We could do whatever we want with cash. If we don't have cash, then they can control you, shut down your bank account, your crypto.
Yeah, she is correct. I'm just trying to see it because, technically our cash is worthless right now because of the system we're on. But I don't think she was going in that way of making that statement. She's right when she says when we have cash, then the government can't control what we spend it on. They can't, they won't know. Yeah,
Right.
I get that. With the digital currency, they will know everything that we do. So yeah.
Yes, I agree with that. We need to stay to tradition. I mean, we need to we need to stay like Jimmy says pre 1871. We need to stay pre to anything in a colonial. We need to go back to colonial America.
Yes, yeah. As far as our laws and everything, yeah, we need to go back to that. I was going to say something. What was I going to say? I can't remember what I was going to say. Shit. Oh, well. Don't come to me.
Okay, Gigi says something. He says, as I write this post, the Trump coin is trading at approximately 55 USD with the holdings worth approximately 44.22 billion. Gateway Pundit.
It's kind of fun. What's kind of funny? Didn't Trump just say, well, maybe I can pay the debt off with a little piece of paper?
Oh, he said that?
He did say that.
Okay, what does that mean? A little piece of paper.
I don't know.
Okay.
But how much is it? 44 billion?
Yep.
I don't know. Just there's a lot of times when news is, you start thinking about things like, does that fit together? Does it what? Why do you say that? I don't know. I don't know what's up with the Trump coin stuff. I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of great stuff coming.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I don't want to sound like I'm repeating myself because I keep asking you like what's going to happen next, and I don't want to. I mean, I'm sometimes an airhead, but can you please explain to me what happens with these executive orders one last time for me? What happens now? Where does it go?
Okay. So some will go through with no problems. Some will be just done.
Okay.
There will be other ones that lawyers will try to, they're going to challenge and take it to court.
Okay.
I do believe so. Just like with the birthright citizenship thing, yeah, that I think is going to court. Renaming the Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America, I don't think that's going to go to court. So that's what I'm saying. Why some of these orders, they'll go through, won't be no problems. The federal government employees coming back to their full-time jobs in the offices and not sitting at home, that needs to be done because they'd be more efficient at their job. I mean, think about it. If you got a football team or a baseball team, is the coach going to be at his house calling in the plays?
Right. Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
He's not going to be as effective.
Right.
He's got to be at his job. So
agreed. Yeah.
So that I don't think is going to, they're not going to challenge that. But there's a few that I think they'll try to challenge, and we'll see how it goes. Will Trump hit every one of them 100%? I doubt it. But even if 80% of the stuff goes through, that's good for America.
Okay, now who gets to challenge this? I thought once he signed it, that's it.
No, lawyers can challenge it. Lobbyists. You're going to have lobbyists out there, different lawyers. The lobbyists are going to have lawyers. Certain groups could go after him, like maybe as an example, just an example, BLM could sue a president. They're a group.
Okay.
Or a civil rights group or something will bring up. It's America. You can sue anybody. Anybody can sue anybody.
Okay, but I didn't know that they can actually challenge an executive order. I thought that once he signed it, it was good to go.
No, they can be challenged.
Okay. Well, Gigi is just joining us now. Hi, Gigi.
Hi, and I just got on just to tell you, it's already. Donald Trump did it as a strategic move. He knew that when he did the executive order today, in less than 24 hours, 19 state attorney generals have joined forces to take it to the Supreme Court. But Donald Trump is smarter than these people, because what happens is the Congress is supposed to make this decision, but what they do is they just they blame everybody else. They let the
Ah,
administration.
yeah, good point. Good point.
So Donald Trump says, no, we're going to put this in the front of the table. Okay, let's go to the Supreme Court. Let's just fix this and just stop complaining. So Donald Trump is just, what people need to understand is that he did the right thing, because he's making everybody, Congress, the Supreme Court, everyone is avoiding this issue. And he's saying, no, I'm going to bring it front and center. We're all going to fight. It's going to go to the Supreme Court. It's going to go to Congress. And then we're going to make a decision. And it's end of discussion. Next topic. He's actually governing. You see, this is why Gavin Newsom, I say he's not a governor. He's not a president, because he doesn't govern and he doesn't preside. What Donald Trump is doing is governing and presiding. He's not passing the buck to a different unelected group of individuals who work in a DC building. He's saying, no, we're going to bring it all on the table. You were hired by the American people as Congress to make this decision. And if you don't make this decision, I will. And then they go, no. Okay, well, then let's get to work. And that's what happened today.
Yeah.
So your opinion, my opinion, Donald Trump's opinion, it doesn't matter. He brought it out on the table, and it's going to get fixed. And that's what you're seeing today.
He's exactly right.
The citizen issue, with the birthright, the dreamers. So Donald Trump isn't pretending he's king. He's just exposing the obvious that everyone is passing the buck.
Well, and that's obvious with what he's done at the border and what he's already showed at the border. It can be shut down quick.
You see, Congress has a thing where they like John McCain will say, "I'm for the military, but I didn't close down that military base in Arizona," because he's from Arizona, right? He'll be like, "It was this committee in Washington D.C. They're always getting somebody else to do their dirty work."
Yep.
And so Donald Trump is saying, no, we're going to bring this all on the table, and we're going to govern, and we're going to preside.
Okay, so if something gets challenged, then what happens after that?
It's forced to go through the due process. The United States Supreme Court can throw it back and say, it's not our decision. This is a congressional decision that needs to be made. And the United States Supreme Court doesn't have to agree or disagree. It can send it back and say, you have to do this, not us, not the president, you, Congress. So it's a chess game now. Donald Trump is
just real quick. My battery. I came out to my car. My battery's at 4%. I got it plugged in, but I'm at 3, so I may end up dropping off. But I'll come back on if you're still on.
Okay, Jimmy. Thank you, though.
But you understand that point that by Donald Trump doing this, he's forcing the Supreme Court, and the Congress to get their act together.
Yes, 100%.
Because they've been avoiding it for so long, so now they're forced to make a decision about it.
Absolutely.
Right. Okay. I think I got it down packed now. I think I do.
And Ruby, the Supreme Court can also throw it back to the Congress and say, it is your responsibility in the Constitution to make this. And it could also throw it back to the states, where the states could actually do an amendment to the Constitution and clarify the 14th Amendment and you know what is. And maybe that's what Donald Trump wants to do. Why don't we just add an amendment to the Constitution and clarify, you know, what is a birthright citizenship?
Yeah, there's a very good pot. Oh, I was at 1%. Now I'm at 2. So apparently I'm hooked in. That is another thing that could possibly be happening. Some people have talked about it. They've been talking about it for quite some time, but a convention of the states. And that is where you can make an amendment to the Constitution. You got to have a convention of the states. You got to have three-fifths of the states agree to it. And I think we were shown that with Joe Biden trying to come out and say, oh, we now have a 28th Amendment. No, Joe, we don't have a 28th Amendment just because you say so. It's got to go through a process to get approved by the American citizen.
Okay, so we could be
So you-
seeing major changes. Like I wasn't even expecting that point you brought up.
Yeah, because it's vague. See, Donald Trump knows that this thing about if you're born in the country by illegal aliens coming in and anchor baby, everything is vague, and
Yeah.
nobody wants to govern, and nobody wants to preside. Everybody wants to play politics on this issue, and they just want to blame.
That's the
Donald Trump is the only adult in the room and saying we need to fix this once and for all.
And that's why people don't like him. That's why the left doesn't like him, because they're being forced to address these issues that they've been using to their benefit to divide America. They're losing a tool of their propaganda.
Okay.
Would you agree with that, Gigi?
Yeah, I mean it's so simple. He's the adult in the room, and as long as they can whine and cry like little children, they can continue just passing the ball, kicking the can down the road. And there's a lot of power in kicking the can down the road.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Okay. I just brought it up so everybody can see this, because this is where it says about protecting the meaning about the citizenship. It says the 14th Amendment states all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. So that's what they're taking advantage of, this part.
yes. And yeah, what's that?
Subject to the jurisdiction thereof, because what they're arguing is that illegals do not fall under the jurisdiction.
Correct.
But that seems okay. Like, is that vague, or are they just saying that it is vague?
You know how they try to wordplay stuff.
Okay, because I could read that and understand that.
I mean, I can read it and understand it.
I think also the 14th Amendment, if my memory serves me correct, it also had to do during the slavery, where it was identifying the slaves as natural born citizens. Like these slaves were born in America, and the Civil War freed them, and they are citizens.
Yeah.
So but the point is that everyone is confused of this language. Donald Trump is saying, okay, let's rewrite it in the language of 2025. Let's redo this, and let's get it, and let's make it right. And that's why they're upset.
I think we can look at it too, when it says subject to jurisdiction, how many, I mean, if knowing some of the crimes that these illegal immigrants committed, if you or I or Gigi or anybody in the chat did some of the stuff that they've done, would we get the same slap on the wrist that they got?
No.
Probably not. They'd probably have us under the jail with some of the stuff. So right there is like, what? Are you not subject to the same type of jurisdiction that I am?
Right. That's what doesn't make sense. But you see, when I read that, it made sense, because an illegal would not fall under that, because
so they're
broke
giving
the law.
Yeah, it can be vague in some senses.
And that's why Trump is doing. That's what you're seeing. Why you're seeing it. And I just can't emphasize that point enough, that this is the difference between Gavin Newsom. See, he's really not a governor. Like the governing body of Jehovah's Witnesses, they're really not the governing body. They're just like the face.
Right.
See,
right.
They really don't govern. There's an elected body, the shareholders, and so forth. Donald Trump is a true executive. He's a true president. He presides. He governs. The buck stops with him. Whereas you have other types of people like the Gavin Newsoms. And this is where this is why they like that vagueness of the 14th Amendment, because nothing ever gets done and they always stay in power and they can use that vagueness however they want. And Donald Trump is saying, no, no, no. We're going to go Jesus on you. Let your yes be yes and your no be no. Real simple. Yes or no. We're not going to make this complicated. And what you saw today was a chess move by Donald Trump.
Yeah, I will agree. I will totally agree with that.
He's way
But
ahead
do
of the
you really need to change the words for it to mean that? Why can't the Supreme Court make a decision on that?
Because if you do it in 2025 with the words of the 2025 English language, then the Supreme Court in a future day won't have to say, well, you have to understand the language of the founding fathers back in the day. No, no, no. This new law that's going to be settled with whether it's Congress or it's going to be settled in a language that we totally understand. You could, right now you're reading the 14th Amendment and you're kind of confused. Donald Trump is saying, no, no, we're going to fix this. And a sixth grader can understand this.
Mhm.
There's going to be no ambiguity.
Yeah, no question of what it says and what it means.
Yeah.
Okay, because I kind of hold the opinion that we shouldn't change anything, especially like in the Constitution or amendments. Like I wouldn't want to change anything because I kind of feel like if they use that excuse for this, maybe they could do it for the first one or the second one, and they can try to change language for that too, and we end up losing rights.
Well, not necessarily. Like if the United States Supreme Court decides to punt this, they can tell Congress, you have to fix this. You have to make a
Okay.
decision. What happens when an illegal person comes to this country and has a baby? Make a law. The governor and the president will sign it. Clarify it. And so that will be clarified in 2025 language. If the United States Supreme Court takes this case, then they will write their opinions, and that opinion will be based in 2025 English language. So either way, Trump wins because he fixes it.
I don't think he would be changing that. Let's say for that exact amendment, I don't think he'd be changing the wording or anything in there. I think it would just be another amendment added that would back up what the 14th Amendment says.
Okay, that feels a little bit better to me.
Yeah. It's kind of like we have our First Amendment, but our Second Amendment protects our First Amendment.
Okay.
So maybe a new amendment clarifying this, like Gigi said, would support and back up what it says in the 14th Amendment.
Yeah. Either way, Donald Trump has set the motion, and he has checkmated them. He's winning.
Oh yeah.
I'm on to you guys. We're gonna fix this, and we're gonna go on to the next subject. Fix it, and that's what he's doing almost with everything. He's making Congress responsible, and that's why he's firing a lot of people. Today he announced 1,000 people that he's going to fire. He fired he fired the former Mark Milley, the former commander of the Joint Chiefs of Staff.
Yeah, he fired like 4 people last night at 12:30.
Yeah, and
I didn't see that.
Go back on my X page. I put it on there.
Donald Trump has made it very clear that he's going to make Congress do their job, and if Congress cannot be letting just bureaucrats make these decisions, and literally getting away with murder.
Yeah.
Like look, for example, just a real quick example on Jesse's my brother Jesse, his line of work in air conditioning. All of these bureaucrats, they make all of these laws on air conditioning and Freon, and this is why your air conditioning costs are so dang expensive. However, because there's no law really written by Congress, the Chinese are bringing in air conditioning via Home Depot, and you can't get that Freon at the parts houses.
Yep.
So everything is a mess because
Yep.
Congress is not doing their job, and they're allowing executives to just allowing the deep state to make up these rules without any legislation. And it's the wild, wild west, and it's creating chaos just in my brother's industry. That's
Yep.
not counting that's not counting the plumbers, the electricians. Every industry is under attack because Congress is not doing its job. And Donald Trump, as a chief executive of a company, knows no, we can't run a country like this.
Right.
Yeah, and see, and these are the deeper subjects
Mhm.
that a lot of people they don't even know.
Mhm.
But it makes sense. It actually really does affect how this country operates and whether we prosper or not.
Mhm.
So to get in the weeds with this stuff, that's what folks have to do to understand why Trump does certain things that he does.
Mhm.
Okay. Yep. All right. Well, I think that first point about the immigration stuff, that's why I am zero immigration, because I don't think we should be figuring out what the 14th Amendment means or doesn't
So,
mean or whatever. I'm like, I'm zero.
so you don't want any immigrants to come to the country
No.
legally?
Like I said before, yeah, I don't really care for it. Like legally or illegally, it should be
Okay.
shut down completely. And that also goes along the line of my isolationist views.
Right.
It's like I'm so America first that I agree with zero immigration.
Yeah, see, that's where I'm a little different. I believe in legal immigration. I have no problem with legal immigration, because if you got somebody that really wants to come to America, and let's say they're a great heart doctor, you know, he's a genius, and he
Yeah.
wants to come to America, and he wants to go through it legally,
Mm-hmm.
that's bringing a quality I don't mean to call him a product, but that's bringing a quality individual into our country to make our country better.
Right. But weren't they just arguing about the whole H1 something about visa immigrants coming for work or something like that?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's a subject I got to get in the weeds on
And, well,
myself.
and there
But
and
legal immigration, I'm cool with.
And pretty much everyone's right. Steve Bannon and Elon Musk are right. It's just the numbers are skewed. I agree with Steve Bannon that Elon Musk is right, but 90% of the H1 visas don't need to go to these people. Americans can do those jobs.
Right.
Donald Trump is right that there are even Donald Trump today was mentioning that even people like sommeliers, the wine tasters, you know, if you run a hotel like Donald Trump, he wants the very best from France to come work at his hotel. So there are exceptions to the rule, but here's the point that people don't understand. The reason Miami, where you live at, the reason you see all those skyscrapers is one reason, and one reason why America is great. It's called the rule of law. And what people don't understand is that when you have $10 million in Argentina, you want to protect it. So what do? You go to Florida and you buy condos and you have a rental company. See, because you now have your $10 million is now protected by the rule of law. So let's just use Jimmy Bell's analogy of a heart surgeon or a doctor. He wants to come to the United States because maybe he has a patent for a heart machine or procedure, whatever. His ideas will be stolen in his country. So he wants to come to the United States because we have a thing called the rule of law. So what our Democrat brothers and sisters don't understand is when you monopolize, when you use the Department of Justice like the Democrats have done to go after your political enemies, well, what's going to happen to all of those billions of dollars that are invested, all of those billionaires? Even the drug lords, the drug dealers are going to say, we need to get our money out of here. See, because your money is no longer safe in America, because Adam Schiff or Nancy Pelosi can get offended because you called him a she, her, you
Right.
misgendered them, and next thing you know, you abused your power and you stole somebody's money.
Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
so the rule of law is you cannot have the United States of America without and the greatness without the rule of law, because money will always go where it's treated best. And the reason
Right.
everybody wants to come to the United States is because their money is protected by a thing called contract law.
Yeah.
Without contract law, we all are homeless.
No, I understand 100% everything you're saying, and I agree with that. But I'm so radicalized that I would say 0, because we already have so many Americans already here that we're going to start arguing about which type of visas we should have, or legal or illegal. We should shut it down 100% until we fix America 100%. And then we can focus on American jobs, people, dollars,
I can't say
everything American.
I can't say that I hate your stance, Ruby, because a part of me is like, let's shut it down and fix our house before we let people in here.
And that's why I'm just honest about that, because I don't really care.
I'll rebut with 2 words, just 2 words.
Mhm.
Albert Einstein. He was H1B1. Albert Einstein was German. And the United States says, oh, hell no. This guy's getting an American passport.
Listen,
He's Albert Einstein. And all of the people that made the atomic weapons, they were Germans.
I get it. I know.
Yeah. So there's a national security interest in it. Now, but Steve Bannon is right. The numbers have been abused so much that people like you say 0.
Yes.
But if the numbers were just 1% or 2%, very small amount, like say 700 people, 1,000 people, well, then nobody would have a problem with the program.
I mean, maybe not, because I still feel like 0. Like I really don't care. 0. And the whole Einstein and MLK and all those people, honestly, I think those are psyops, and I don't really believe in them 100%. So I really can't really agree with you on that. I would have to like really look into them, because I don't even believe in that either.
Well,
So
I would disagree, because this past couple of days, weekend, Elon Musk had a rocket that came back and it landed.
Elon is another one. I'm sorry. I don't.
No, Ruby.
Yeah.
You saw it with your own eyes. A spaceship went up in the air. It was coming down at over 1,000 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And then it propelled itself into a safe landing. It got caught.
And I also saw the plane hit the Twin Towers, and that was a
No.
psyop too.
No.
Yeah, I was 5 years old and I saw it with my own eyes.
I can't help but leaning with Ruby on this one.
I mean, I'm just saying, like I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying, like, that's how I feel with certain things like this.
Yeah.
No, Donald Trump was there, and his son Kai, everybody was there seeing it happen for the first time. So no, they all saw it live. They were there on location.
I know. I was
Has
there.
Has anyone seen any actual YouTube videos for people that were there, really there, videotaping it?
Yeah.
You have seen some?
Yeah, Kai Trump. She was there, and I saw the whole thing with the.
I'm just talking about like a regular Joe. Nobody.
No.
Have we seen anybody put up any videos of that?
Yeah,
I don't know or not.
I've seen them in Spanish channels, Mexican. I mean, like South Americans over there in Florida. Everybody's. But
were they actually there?
Yeah, I mean, you could see, when you look at it, you could see the skyscrapers not too far away.
Okay,
it's not that far. It's not that far away.
I don't know.
But here's the point.
I'm kind of with Ruby on this.
There is. Look at whatever you believe. I mean, you see you see the satellites up in the space. You see them little lights moving all around. That takes some mathematical skills. Do Americans have it? Yeah, but you also want those other people. Now listen, if China had say 10 of those people, I'd want those Chinese, because I would rather have them in the United States than have them.
Hell no, they're freaking spies. Like I just don't trust literally nothing, absolutely nothing. And I think that they put those visas and those things in place so that they can excuse kidnapping those German scientists and bringing them over here when they did that.
Yeah, okay. But
I mean, that's just me because I don't trust this government. I'm so anti-Fed, anti-government that I want zero of whatever's been happening the last 100 years. I want zero tolerance of it. I want mass deportations, so much so that when you call a hotline or something, you don't have to hear press 2 for Spanish.
Oh my
I
God.
only want English.
Yeah, press 1 for English.
Listen,
Right. We shouldn't even have that. Like what the heck is that?
Agree.
listen, I would say yes to immigration if I can get Bugatti over here, if I can get a Ferrari over here. Yeah. There's a lot of people I would want in the United States of America, you know.
Yeah.
But it would be like in a number that would be manageable, like under 1,000 people. But I think what happened is Steve Bannon has proven that because it has been abused so badly, that the American people are sick and tired of the abuse.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think that's why we need change. We need the change so that the abuse never happens again. And it would only happen with abolition, with zero tolerance, death penalties. You know what I'm saying? That's the change that's going to make it stop. We shouldn't have to deal with this ever again in the United States of America.
Yeah,
I agree.
And the last thing I was going to say, speaking of that, maybe not the death penalty on all crimes, but one of the things that
not all crimes, just ones that are.
But one of the things that Rand Paul made a quote, and I can't remember the word, but he was talking about Dr. Fauci, and it was a certain word that he used, and it kind of like a Shakespearean type word, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I went to public school, so I don't, but I have to look it up and show it to you. But what happened is this: Rand Paul is talking about a shame so great, like Judas Iscariot and Benedict Arnold, that Dr. Fauci is going to be shamed so badly, and so many other people in America, and Donald Trump, I think, is going to shame them so badly that even if they don't go to jail, they're going to have to leave this country.
Yes.
You know,
agreed.
Yeah, like Gavin Newsom, I don't see how he's going to be able to stay in California because the shame. And you know why they're looting? Do you know why the looting in California, Ruby?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know why people are looting and why people are there with guns and the National Guard needs to be called?
Why?
Because when those houses burnt down, do you know that not everything burnt down?
Mm-hmm.
See, what happens is the copper melted and it fell down. Everything. But you know what did not melt?
What?
The gold and silver that were in the safes of those vaults.
Yeah.
And that's why people are looting there. They're trying to loot. Because look at Mel Gibson had a $45 million mansion. His house burned down. But to him, I have $1 million, $2 million worth of gold bullion in a safe. If I had a mansion, I'd have $1 or $2, $3 million in gold and silver bullion.
Mm-hmm.
And that didn't melt. That has a higher temperature. So that's why the looters are in Southern California, in that area. That's something they don't want to say because they don't want to attract more people there. But that's why people are whipping out their guns. Why would you have a gun and protecting your property that's burnt to the ground? Because you got cash, bullion in your safe.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about that, but that's reasonable.
Yeah, I saw a video of a guy. He went back to his house and he opened the safe and everything was there. His guns, all his valuables was still standing right there. It did not burn the vault. The vault was fine and everything, but everything else was burnt. So I understand that. Yeah.
That's why the National Guard is there. That's what those people are looking for. The gypsies. They're gypsies.
I'll just say this as far as the next one thing to be aware of over the next 100 days is to really, really be careful of the propaganda.
Yep.
I hope everybody is able to. I hope we've brought enough examples out to help people recognize propaganda when they see it, because there's going to be a lot of it, and they're going to try to muddy the waters. So
Yeah. And also in person too. Like, you shouldn't be afraid to say the things that I said on stream here.
correct.
In real life, you shouldn't be afraid to say that, because I used to be liberal, and I used to be going to Spanish supermarkets or restaurants, and I would say, oh, just speak to them in Spanish, let's just translate. Like, I used to be tolerant, and I
Right.
am no longer tolerant. So when I go into these Spanish speaking places, I demand that you speak to me in English. This is my country, learn my language. And it's just, like I said before, I'm so radicalized that I have zero tolerance for of it all. If you are
Right.
incompetent, then you need to leave and go back to where you came from, or you need to speak to me in English. I'm no longer going to bend the knee or translate or speak to somebody over the phone and they have an Indian accent when I'm trying to fix my phone service.
Yeah.
It's just unacceptable at this point. And
Entonces,
we need to be like that.
entonces lo que estás diciendo es que ya no te puedo hablar en español cuando estoy en el
Hell
programa.
no. Hell no. Hell no.
Pero siempre hablamos en español cuando estamos juntos.
Never. And I could understand it, and I can respectfully say, no, English, please. Like, we need to stop with this already. I'm sick and
I
tired of
lived
it.
in Japan when I was younger, and there is no way that I was going to be able to go anywhere in Japan, and I would
Right.
ask them, hey, do you speak English? But I wouldn't expect to go into any store, any business, and expect them to know English.
Right.
I had to learn Japanese when
There
I
you
was
go.
there.
Pero me gusta hablar español porque Jimmy no sabe lo que estamos diciendo.
Well, I'm
O sea,
sorry.
I like to speak Spanish.
Bakanandayo.
I like to speak Spanish because I don't want Jimmy to know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm
Bakanandayo.
sorry. And it's not, and I'm not saying this in social settings. I'm saying this in
Yes.
professional settings.
Yes,
It's
yes.
unacceptable. Now,
It
you want to speak your language in the street or in your house, or I don't care. But when you're in a professional setting, I don't want to have to be like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. No, speak American. Stop it already.
Yeah, and I think it's I'm not for sure, but I think it's a requirement on legal citizenship that you learn English.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
think it is.
Mm-hmm. And there shouldn't be translations of the test. That doesn't make sense. Oh, hi, Joe.
Hey, good night, everybody. Great physics class.
Great. Thank you,
Good night,
Joe and
Joe.
Fran,
Good
for
seeing you and
joining. Good
Fran.
night.
Yes. Appreciate the civics.
we try to do what we can to help folks.
Oh, it's helpful. It's helpful. Really appreciate it. Love you guys.
All right.
Love you too, buddy.
Bye. Oh, I'm so glad that they joined.
Did you ever see how many people we had on tonight on the live chat?
A lot. Well, it doesn't tell me how many people are in the chat, but in total, 82. It's been at a good 80 something. We got
Really?
39 on YouTube and 43 on X.
Oh, nice. Okay, good. Well, that's good. Thank everybody for joining us.
Yeah.
We love talking to you. We love having these conversations. Yeah, now that I'm sitting in the car, I'm all warm and toasty now. I got my heater on. I got my heated seat on. So I got power.
We're gonna do somebody said in the chat, we're gonna do a collection for you to buy you a case that has a battery in it so that you can just plug it in and you don't have the excuse to leave anymore. So we're gonna get
I have one in the house, but it's more for like blowing up the tires or jumping the car. I actually need to get a battery pack thing. I really do need to get one of those.
Yep. And you said you wasn't gonna stay until 12 and it's almost 12 o'clock.
Well, I went inside to go get my charger and everything. My wife's already sleeping, so so I'm good. So yeah.
All right. Well, any final thoughts?
That last time though, we were on till 2 o'clock, and the next day I was struggling.
Yeah, me too.
We're good. Thanks
All
for having me
right.
on. Thanks for having me on. I hope I added something. So
Yes, thank you, Gigi. I love when you come on. I listen so intently. I push back a little bit, and I hope that everybody takes notes because you shouldn't be afraid to talk like this. Like this is 2025. I don't want to hear no more bull crap or name calling or anything. Say what you need to say and don't be afraid of it. Because I can respectfully agree with everybody, right? But at the end of the day, I believe in what I believe in. And when I say America first, I really mean America first.
I was looking through the chat, just kind of. If anybody's got any other questions, I mean, shoot them out real quick before we go. If we're going, let's see. A president can serve 2 consecutive terms, but can he skip a term and serve 2 more consecutive? A
No.
president can only serve 2 consecutive terms, but can he skip a term and serve 2 more consecutive terms?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Technically, no.
Yeah.
Now, that's if he can't be elected. Now, let's just say, okay, I think I know where she's going with this. So let's say, for example, Trump decides he's not, well, he can't run for president if you're going through the corporation. He can't run for president in 2028, but he could be vice president.
Right.
He could be vice president. And then whoever the president is could step down and Trump could be a president again. So
Yep.
that's legal. What
Right.
else?
Oh, like Teddy Roosevelt served almost 3. And was that before that was enacted?
That was before they made the change.
Right. Okay. That's what I thought. Yep. That was a homeschooling lesson too. I had to kind of teach that.
Let's see. I'm just going through here real quick, looking.
Yeah.
Project. I like Jackie Jack's stuff.
Yeah, she's amazing.
She's
I
funny.
hope it's a woman. I don't know. Sorry, Jackie. If
I don't know, but I love her train of thought.
Yeah.
Let's see. What about Project Paperclip? Are you signing
Oh,
off?
yeah,
Here?
they were
I ain't
mentioning
getting.
that.
I ain't getting into that.
Yep.
Keep your sexual genders to yourself. Yeah, for real. I don't care what you do behind closed doors. Just don't make me have to accept it.
Right. Yeah. A lot of great comments. Thank you to everybody in the comment section.
Yeah, I try to look through here every now and again because
Yeah.
we want to interact with folks.
Mm-hmm.
As we are watching DT setting things up, we can't have focus when the media throws out things. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Jenny. As we were watching Donald Trump setting things up, we can't lose focus when the media throws out things. Example, Elon and his arm. Absolutely correct.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. America's spoken. Gene. America's spoken. Trump. Yes, he has a mandate. We have given the man a mandate to fix our country.
Oh, so before we leave, question: the first 100 days of a president, what is that about? Is that for him to do executive every day, or does he do different things every day?
That's just a benchmark.
Oh,
It's
okay.
it's nothing major. They always say that the first 100 days. Let me think of a good example. Like a benchmark. I guess when you go to work, they always say, "Oh, you're going to be on probation for 30 days." It's just a benchmark.
Okay, but okay.
Yeah, it's just a benchmark that they measure things by. You know, what did he do his first 100 days? You know.
Okay. Yeah, because you want to see his intentions, which he's been very direct. So I'm pretty happy with the first two. Yeah, the first 2 days, I'm pretty excited.
Actually, it's only been a day and a half.
True.
It's 12:02, so it's only been a day and a half, and look what's happened so far.
Right. So I have high expectations, and I hope he doesn't drop the ball.
Well, here's the thing. There are so many people that want him to succeed, and there's a lot of people out, including me, that if he drops the ball, we are going to say something. We are going to hold him accountable.
Right. Okay.
And I think he would want us to do that because that's teaching the American people how to hold your elected officials accountable.
Right. Agreed. Okay. So, oh, and I think Debbie did ask about RFK. Was he sworn in, or
They,
was that another person that they delayed?
he's the other person that they're delaying his confirmation hearings.
Okay. Okay. So when is that going to take place? Like soon,
They're
or?
they're trying to say next week. But see, this is where the people in the Republican Party, because the rhinos, the ones that are still kind of hanging around, they're the ones that are helping stall these confirmations. So they need to be contacted. If your representative is part of slowing down the confirmations, you need to get on the phone.
Okay. So we need to wait and see, I guess.
Yeah.
Once
So
again.
they're slow walking it. There's going to be a lot of wait and see with a lot of this stuff, unfortunately.
Okay. All right. But I'm pretty confident. I think everything would go through. I don't think he would get that much pushback with what he's already signed. A lot of it is common sense. So I would be shocked if they like really pushed back on that.
I will just say yesterday, just from a very personal level, yesterday was an amazing day as a patriot like I am. It was an amazing day. It was nice to see class come back with the events, with what, everything that was going on, the balls, the interviews. I just saw a lot of class yesterday. I saw what America used to be like. I didn't see a clown show yesterday.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though we're watching a movie and things are put on for show, I get that. But what I'm saying is we didn't see no absurd clown bull crap yesterday.
I'm gonna show you a clown show just so that people see the difference of what a clown show is and what we witnessed already.
I saw that.
I'm gonna mute it because of the music and YouTube, but that to me was an embarrassment. It was a clown show. All of these boomers in suits dancing around before the speech of the New York governor. Like, what the heck is that?
Kathy Hochul. I saw that. What is that?
What is that? Exactly. What is that? I have never seen that in my life, Jimmy, and I'm only 28. And I'm looking at this like when I was a little girl, absolutely not. These things were serious. It was, like you said, classy, classical. It meant something. And now we're seeing these people dance around like, are you at a club or something? No. It's just so inappropriate, in my opinion.
And so we didn't see that yesterday. Oh my God. I can't believe you pulled that clip up. That is hilarious.
Yeah, I bookmarked it for life because I said, I never want to forget this. I never want to forget the bull crap that we saw for the past 4 years. And just the shock that this is in front of official business like you would never see Ron DeSantis do some dumb shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I like Ron DeSantis. He's serious. He's like Gigi said, a real governor. He governs, he leads. And that's why Florida is one of the leading states in the United States.
Yeah.
Like what the heck is that?
Yeah. And it was also awesome to watch. Trump did something last night that's never been done before in history when he signed the executive orders in front of 20,000 people. That was pretty cool.
It really was. And you saw him throwing pens to people.
Oh man, I was dying when he started throwing. I told my wife, I said, he is such a showman. Oh my God, that is hilarious.
Yeah, and it reminded me of when he was throwing the paper towels in Puerto Rico. I got the same kind of vibe, and even then, I didn't take it disrespectful. I just took it like that's what Trump does. That's just him. Because when I saw him throwing pens, I was like, this is hilarious.
And it's not nothing new because even at his rallies, he would throw out hats and stuff. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. All right. Say what you want about it. And then the other thing I liked is when he did get to the Oval Office last night and he was signing executive orders, he had the media in there with him. And he would, the guy would hand him something. All right, Sir, this is an executive order for blah 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 blah. Oh, okay, that's a big one. And he goes and starts to sign it, and then the media is asking him questions while he's signing it, and he's giving answers back to him. He did not dodge one freaking question. He did not go, you know the thing, ice cream.
Yeah, no, that's embarrassing.
I mean, it was like, we have an adult, like Gigi said, we have an adult in the room right now. That's good.
Right.
So as much as people want to say, oh, he's this, he's that, don't trust. Okay, I get the concerns, and they're valid. But
Right.
for one day, it was an awesome day as a patriot.
Yes. And did you see where Trump was saying, don't interrupt me to a reporter the other day? So he already starting, and I was like, this is the Trump that we miss.
Yeah.
Is that the real Trump, Jimmy? Because I think it is.
I see there's a part of me that thinks it's the real Trump.
Yeah, I'm getting
Because you've seen the Trump at the golf course that's like all overweight and looks, yeah, that's not the real Trump.
Okay.
But because he just looks totally different. I want to say it is, and if it's not, then damn, whoever's playing Trump, congratulations,
Really
you're killing it.
Yeah, because I think this is the real Trump, because it's almost like when you miss someone, like you miss grandpa and you see him again after so long.
Yeah,
I felt
you're
like I got grandpa back. Like
yeah,
this is Trump.
yeah. So until my views change on that, it's like, see, like at Butler, I didn't think that was the real Trump.
Right. Okay.
So, but now
valid for you.
yeah. So
Debs Vista has a question. Will
Sure.
the body searches at the airports stop? I don't think so, but go ahead, Jimmy. What's your opinion on that?
I haven't heard much about that, but it does need to stop. So maybe some brave congressman or something, after changes go through with other things, maybe somebody will bring that up to repeal the Patriot Act.
Yeah, that's the Patriot Act, and I agree. It should be abolished. I'm an abolitionist, so I think it should be abolished.
So, you know what? If I was a congressman, I would write up a bill for that. Repeal a single issue bill. And that's another thing that this Congress needs to do too, is we need to have single issue bills, one bill, not all these other amendments added to it and all that. It needs to be one bill for one thing.
Agreed. Yep. Okay, she agrees as well. I think this is also a female. Sorry, Debs. I think this is a female.
Debs Vista, yeah.
Okay, so yes, Patriot Act repealed. Mr. M is asking about Equilibrium, that movie. I think I wrote it down. I'm gonna, you know what? I'll watch it tonight. Oh well, it's midnight. Okay, so if I'm awake, I'll try to watch it tonight.
I really do hope folks learn something from what we're doing here.
I think so. I believe so.
And if you guys know any other XJWs that are open-minded to this information, turn them on to us. Because, Ruby, I think we are the only ones doing this.
I think so. And we bring such a dynamic that you don't see anywhere. We have Gen X / millennial, I think I am, because I'm 28.
When were you born?
1996. So I'm right at the end.
No, you're not Gen X at all. You're not Gen X at all, sweetheart.
Really? Didn't we do this last stream? I pulled up the chart. 1996 was at the end of millennial.
Pull up the chart. You're not.
Again. You see?
You are not Gen X. You have qualities of Gen X.
Okay, Gen Y.
Gen Y, yeah.
Well, you see, better known as millennials. We're born from 1981 to 1996.
You're a millennial.
Yeah. Okay. So that's
I'm a
millennial.
You're a millennial with some Gen X tendencies.
Yes. Yes, because my uncle really ingrained his ideology at a very young age for me, and that's what hooked me into these topics. That's what it is.
And see, and the reason Gen X is the way we are, we literally don't give a right. You know, we want things done common sense, the way it needs to be done, and that's why Gen X basically got Donald Trump elected this time around, because we are from the FAFO club, and we want somebody to come in there and fix this crap.
Okay, so Gen X is 1965 to 1980.
Yes.
Gen Xers are described as resourceful, independent, and keen on maintaining work-life balance.
Yes.
So you guys are responsible. Okay, so that's what
Yeah, see, that's the problem I have with it, because 1980, you're late Gen Xers, the ones on the border, yeah, they've allowed the generations to get to where they are by coddling people, and I think I think what happened was with Gen X, we didn't get that. You know, we were literally thrown out of the house in the morning and said, "Go play, get going."
Right.
You know, and I guess there's some that just didn't want to have their child brought up that way, which that's fine. But I think some took it. I think some took it way overboard by coddling them and giving them everything they freaking want. So
Yes,
I can fault
exactly.
them. But for those that didn't do that,
So, okay, I'm gonna have to write this down because I'm gonna forget, and then we're gonna bring the chart up again. So let me write this down right now. I am a millennial.
you sure are a millennial.
Okay, which is also considered Gen
Why?
Y. Okay, oh my goodness. I have to write notes for myself like I have dementia or something. I am millennial. Okay. Gen Y. So I don't have to do this again. Oh my goodness. Well,
I really do feel like we have like a talk show vibe thing going on here. You know?
Definitely. People are waiting every Tuesday, 9 p.m. to start. I got King Tony addicted. She said that it's helped her, like personally. Even her partner says that he's seen differences in her. Like she's excited, she's into something, interested in something, and that's the goal. Because a lot of XJWs, they don't do anything, and you can fall into a depression or whatever. And it's like now you have something to look forward to, and that's another aspect of this. But I love how we can have 3 different generations, and we can all be in this circle of agreement with something.
Yeah.
And you don't see this on anywhere else in our community. You don't really see a 28-year-old and a Jimmy. You're like what, 50 something?
51.
Yeah, like 50 something year old. It's like it's weird. Like that's my dad is 58, so you're almost like my dad's age. So you don't really see that in our community talking about this stuff, let alone the politics of it. So
And
that's
finding out that even though we're different generations, there's fundamental stuff that we agree on that is best for America.
Yes.
And see, and one day you're going to be the 51-year-old, and there's going to be another 28-year-old come on, and you're going to be there to be able to help that person. And that's how we build the culture back up in America. Oh, you see how we started off with culture and we brought it right back around to culture at the end?
That's what it's all about. And another avenue of how I got here to the politics that I have is because I wasn't afraid to talk to people that have different viewpoints than myself at that time, because I was very liberal. But I was open-minded enough to talk to a Black supremacist, a white supremacist, nationalist, socialist, whatever. Like whatever they self-described, I wasn't afraid to DM them and say, I want to know more about your ideology. And I don't want to look it up on the internet. I want you to actually tell me what you believe in and explain it to me personally in conversations with these people. And as I would gather little bits of information, and then I would discern what was a little bit too extreme, what wasn't, what was reasonable. And then that's how I ended up at my own politics. And that was just another way of doing that.
Which is great. More people need to do that.
Yeah. And it was scary. I'm not gonna lie. It was scary talking to somebody who was like anti-race mixing, or they considered themselves white supremacists or a black supremacist or a pan-African ism. Like there's so many isms and istics that it's a little scary to do that. But at least I'm glad that I did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm glad that I did it, because then I just found myself in all of that. And that's how you need to like open up. You need to go into those chat rooms or DMs or X, where you're free enough to do it in a safe, relatively safe place. Because on X, they can actually say how they feel without getting banned. And that's why I like it, because I really want to know how you really feel. And you're going to say it on your X page.
Exactly.
That's really where it's going to happen.
And so I want to do something funny real quick. You want to know what the Gen X attitude is?
What?
Look what Mr. M put up a little while ago. How many times have they said Trump?
How many times did they say Trump?
You see that?
Yes.
Here's the Gen X response. Trump, 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 Trump.
Yep.
Don't care.
Yep. Wow.
So yeah, it's gonna be an exciting time. We got lots happening. And every day I'm still looking at other things, still listening to X22, still listening to the other one I would listen to in the morning when I get ready, the Wright Report. That's got a lot of good stuff. So hopefully by me still doing that, as we have further conversations, I'll be able to bring some more information out to you guys. So every day I'm learning.
Yeah, every day I'm bookmarking stuff for next Tuesday. So hopefully we have another great week. I'm actually excited. Like, I wake up excited to go on the news all of the sudden and see what Trump is saying or Trump is doing.
Well, I tell you what, if anybody's watching this show, they're probably going to learn more about real issues and real things than they would sitting watching the media.
Yeah. So we'll.
You know,
I'm interested.
You know why? You know
why? Why?
Because we are the news now.
Yeah, I agree. But I'm interested to see how the media is going to treat Trump now, because of everything that they've done.
I think they're still going to play their games, because I don't think that it's time yet to make that switch. Because I do believe you're going to see a seismic shift in the media. Actually, there's been a start of it. Because remember, we got to wake up the orange hats.
Yeah.
So I think it's starting, but I think once more stuff comes out, like you had Catherine Herridge down at Gitmo, seen her videos and stuff, that stuff is starting to go mainstream. And we've been talking about it for a long time.
Okay. Debs says, Jimmy, have you watched YouTube Peak Prosperity?
Can't say that I have.
Okay. Yep. Jackie says, Jimmy, you sound kind of cute-ish.
You think?
You know what, Jimmy? At the end of your name, after Jimmy, you got to put a Q at the bottom there so everybody remembers.
No. What I'll do is I'll come out and say, Jimmy the Q guy. You know, and it used to be there used to be a time when I first started this that I didn't want to. I didn't want to talk about Q. I mean, I would drop hints. When I first started posting, I was posting in code.
Right,
And
right.
people are like, why is he being so vague? Why is he doing that? Because I had to test the waters to see what people were ready for.
Hmm.
And so now I wouldn't say it, wouldn't publicly. Yeah, I listen to Q. Yeah, I'm a Q guy.
Yeah.
I am a Q guy. There's nothing right now. I know how different codes work. I know that they work off different calendars. It doesn't bother me if somebody wants to down me for that. I don't care, because if I didn't go down that road, I wouldn't be where I'm at with knowledge that I have now.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, if I didn't do all of that, I probably would have never got here. It would have been so slow, like a snail. But I accelerated that by getting all of those like those buzzwords or titles. I got that out the way. I got it out the way. I got it out the way, because they're like, oh, be afraid of these types of people or be afraid of those type of people. And I'm like, okay, then I'm gonna talk to that person. Nah, he's not
When-
that scary.
Exactly. Whenever you were told to be afraid of something or something's being attacked by the media, then you probably should go and read it or find out about it. I
Yeah.
mean, why did Dick Durbin, senator, yeah, last week when he was talking to Pam Bondi,
Mm-hmm.
he asked her about QAnon.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't such a threat to their system, why did he bring it up?
Exactly. He's bringing attention to it, when in reality, if it isn't, then just leave it alone.
And Q hasn't posted for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been quiet for 2 years. Why is Dick Durbin talking about it?
Yeah, that's and remember when they were making such a big deal about the Proud Boys and this whole Charlottesville thingy and all of that?
Yeah.
That was during the same time I started looking into, well, what is a supremacist, or like, what is that? Because they were
Right.
demonizing it so much. So I said, I want to talk to a white supremacist. I want to talk to a Proud Boy. I want to know from their mouth what is it that they believe in, and why is the media trying to demonize them so much? And that was my journey in 2019, 2020, 2018. I was in a lot of those conversations, and I was like, okay, this is so fake. This is just so fake. These are just people who have their opinion. They are entitled to it. They have a right to it. That's it. As long as they're not breaking the law, that's all I care about. So I
Right.
wanted to make sure that that was it. And that's where I left it. I stopped asking questions, and I didn't believe in all what the media was saying, because they're not breaking the law. If they truly feel though with that ideology, okay, you're entitled to that. That's it. Live your life how you want, as long as you're not hurting anybody and you're not, like, that's my libertarianism coming out. That's it. You're fine. I don't care about what you believe in.
Right. Just real quick, Michael Price put up a comment a second ago about Watchtower or something. I saw this. I just wanted to.
Michelle, is that Michelle? Pronounced
Or
Michelle?
yeah, it was small. I can't see it. What's it say?
Price. Okay, she says, or he, I know you don't want to talk about Watchtower, but today a pastor broke my heart and said Watchtower was not going to end. It was only going to get stronger because they believe in a millennial reign.
Okay. So just to set your heart at ease, in my opinion, I totally 100% believe that that's not going to happen. Watchtower is not going to get stronger. I do believe that we're going to see Watchtower completely implode on themselves. It might take a little time, but they will definitely not have the ability. They may still exist as an organization. People can choose to go to it, but they're not going to have the control and the effect that they've had on people in the past. I don't think that's going to happen for them in the future.
Yeah, agreed. But just because they believe in a millennial reign, in my opinion, there's many denominations that believe in different types of interpretations of millennial reign. So I don't think that that's like unique to them, that just because they believe in a millennial reign that they're going to get stronger. So I think if that's comforting, I don't know if that might be comforting, because when I was asking different Christians, they believe in different types of reigns, either literal or symbolic or whatever. So I don't really think that matters.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
Yeah, I just want to be a comforting thought. Yeah, I wouldn't take that. I wouldn't take his comment to heart too much, because I just don't see that happening.
Right. Because people are going to wake up to the lies regardless. The truth is always going to set people free. So it doesn't matter if they believe in a rain or not, if it's
Yeah.
whatever, because as soon as somebody finds out the lie and they are awake enough and respect themselves enough to say, I'm not going to live that lie, then they're free. You're forever free. So it's all up to the person.
Yeah, and John Marciano said 2020 was the year that I think made people start to question things. Yeah.
2016, John. For me, it was 2016.
Well, yeah. But see, like for me,
Hmm.
I woke up March 2020 to the political stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, 2020 woke up a crap ton of people.
Yep. But like I tell you guys all the time, my uncle used to say that Michelle was a tranny. And that was back in like 2014, 2015. And we used to
Yeah.
laugh it off and stuff like that. But that used to plant the seeds. So through his jokes would really plant the seeds for us. And then he came out one day and told us, like, straight to our faces, why don't you just write a letter to Watchtower and disassociate yourself? And like that came out of nowhere. And I was like, why would you say something? Why would you say that to me? Do you know what that would mean? I would get this fellowship. You want me to get this fellowship? Like, is that what you're saying? And he was like, it doesn't matter. I mean, you already know you don't want to live your life like this. So why don't you just do a letter and get it over with?
There you go.
And we would look at him like we would get sick to our stomachs because we were like, what are you saying? You know, like he would really say weird and like really scary stuff to us back then because we were so indoctrinated. But that's the kind of guy he was. He was very forward, I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of like, yeah. And you kind of referenced me being a little like him, so I will do everything I can to scare you and wake you up.
Yep. And Gigi and Jesse too. That they remind me so much more because they're like the Hispanic version of that, but with Jimmy's language. So if you put all those three people together, that's kind of like our family.
There you go.
Yeah, it really is. And I've been telling Tony for the longest, I'm like, these people are exactly our family, but just in different people. And if you just put everybody together, that's what we had to deal with. But
It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard this before, and this would be a topic for a whole nother conversation. But we do find our soul family.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, because how many times have you? I mean, you're 28. I'm 51. You're from.
Yeah.
How in the world did we freaking meet?
Exactly, the internet.
You know, why did that happen? There's a reason. And I've said that a lot with a lot of people that I've met, a lot of friends I've made. I'm like, wow, I don't even know how I met you, but I feel like I've known you forever.
Yeah.
So somewhere there's something about finding our soul family.
Yeah, Joe and Fran talk about it all the time. And it was so hard for me to get that. They were like, your family doesn't have to be blood. Like, get that out your head. And I've had to come over that. And I'm like, okay, you have to open up your heart sometimes, because I had a very cold, closed heart that I was like, nobody could get to me. And you put that wall of protection. But it's like, you have to get over that, melt the ice, warm up again, and don't hate the world too much. Don't blame the world for everything, and push yourself out there.
You know, I was having this is a very personal thought. I was laying in bed one night thinking about, you know, just things while I'm getting ready to fall asleep. Yeah. And I was thinking about the whole soul family thing, because before I go to bed, I listen to things that are geared toward the Galactic Federation stuff. Okay. I'll send you a video one time, Ruby, just so you can see what I listen to. Okay. But then I was thinking about, I really don't have a mom anymore, right? My mom was never a real mother, one that you could just call up, hey, Mom, I'm having a problem. Can you help me out here? You know, I just didn't have a mom, a real mom.
Right.
And I was like, I wonder if I could take applications in my soul family community to find out who would like to be my real, you know, be a mom.
Yeah.
You know? So I I got quite a few sisters and a few brothers, but the mom and dad thing, I just don't really have anybody I could call up and just talk to like that. So, it's kind of, it's I'm just sharing something personal with you guys. That's all.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. We in the same boat.
Yeah. So, but it is nice to find folks that we can relate to and be able to communicate with and bounce ideas off of. So that's great.
Yep. Well, Jimmy,
Little
thank
sister.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much for always joining me. Like, I never asked Jimmy to be a co-host or anything. Like, he's just here. Yeah, and I love it. It's like I don't even have to ask. I don't have to like call people up and be like, hey, join me or anything. Everybody joins just because. And I love that. Like I love how you guys are just always here.
Well, I like the fact that you do this on a weekly basis. And, for me, I mean, I do have a lot of subscribers. I got a little over 3,000. And I know they like to listen to me and do stuff because they've told me. And so I was like, well, if you guys want to see me on a regular basis, talking about this stuff, come check out Ruby's channel. That's where I'll be.
Yeah. Or maybe we can stream simultaneously on both channels if you ever wanted to do that in the future.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we can do that if you can figure out how to do it.
Yeah, we can. I just need your email, I think. And then I can figure out how to do it through StreamYard. And then you have to accept it through email. And then we can stream from your channel, my channel, and my ex.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm down with that.
Okay, so I'm gonna figure it out, and then that'll fix everything because your people can just watch from your channel.
Yeah, that's fine. That's cool.
All right, guys. I know I said bye like a million times, but thank you so much for joining. And I'll let everybody go for real now. Okay, so thank you to Jimmy, to Gigi, King Tony, Bobo, and W. Everybody who joined tonight.
Joe and Fran were on.
Oh, Joe and Fran. Oh my God. Yeah, that was their first time. Joe and Fran, thank you so much. I love them. They're like grandma. They're like a grandma and grandpa figure for me.
Yeah, they're grandma, grandpa.
Yeah, they are so much like my grandparents. So
that's how I look at Kim and Mikey. They're kind of like grandparents.
And you know what's funny is that my grandparents from my mother's side are just like them, and my grandparents from my father's side are just like Joe and Fran. It is like identical personalities, just Puerto Rican.
Yeah, Kim and Mikey remind me of my granny and pawpaw I had.
Yeah, really,
it's
really
pretty cool.
out there.
They probably don't like it that we're calling them grandparents, but yeah, they're.
Well,
so I got 9 grandkids, so it is what it is.
Yep.
But so remember, folks, just remember, if there's anybody out there that you talk to, put this information out on your Facebook pages, promote the show if you like what we do and think others will benefit from it.
Yeah.
We're here to help as many people as we can.
All right. Thank you, guys. Have a good night. I'll see you next Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. If you're watching on X, join the party on YouTube because I always have a link that you can join us on the stage. And then I'm also going to figure out how to simultaneously stream to Jimmy's YouTube channel. So we might have a even bigger audience in the future.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good night, everybody. Bye.
Good night, everybody.
I'm a gun throwing patriot, God-fearing patriot. Pricing why they mad, cause I'm really Navy faking it. Free speech advocate, it's on my mind, I'm saying it. I'm about to buy another gun and ain't nobody taking it. Gun throwing patriot, God-fearing patriot. Pricing why they mad, cause I'm really Navy faking it. Free speech advocate, it's on my mind, I'm saying it. I'm about to buy another gun and ain't nobody taking it.
All red MAGA flags waving through the South like we just want 4 more years. Democrats can't get right. Trumping with that easy flow. Don't go broke on Sleepy Joe. Make America great again.